now. And it's good to have Keith Brown back Mike's side with us. Keith, you missed a good one last week, and I know that ate your heart out.
Oh, sure did, but I guess my heart was in it, and sure glad to see that outcome. I know I've felt to them 4 times in my lifetime and watched a lot of others, and it was sure a good feeling to have Westmar get over that jinx.
Well, this one today is the ultimate challenge, really. The number 14 rated Peru State Bobcats. It's time to get some recognition. Doggone, this team just can't seem to earn the respect they deserve. The pollsters got them 1 vote this week, but not into the top 25 at all. And it's just a real disappointment, I guess. They just haven't got the recognition they probably deserve. Well, our national anthem, and then we'll be set to play football. Two football teams are out onto the field. We're just moments away from the kickoff. Westmar is going to be on offense first. And I guess, Keith Brown, the thing we're going to watch today is probably a guy set an all-time single-season rushing record in Charles Hill. He needs 140 yards. That's just a half-time's worth of work for this guy, the way he's been running the last couple of ball games.
Sure has. He's really stacking up the big yards, and I guess he's not the only one carrying the ball for Westmar. That's impressive to see them yards, and they've got 3 big backs running now that are stacking up yards. And you bet, boy, it's great to see a record like that fall, and well, he's got a few more games to go if he stays healthy, and he can really put that one up on the board and make it tough to reach. So it's exciting to see that if it happens today, and I'm sure trust it will.
140 yards, and Randy Beving's 1971 school record for a single season would fall. Last week, Hill got the single game record held by Beving of 244 yards set in that 71 season, 252 yards of rushing, and didn't even play all of the ball game due to the lopsided score. Today, the 8th meeting between Peru State and Westmar. They played every year since '82. Their first games were in '58 and '59. And Peru State has won the first 6, lost a year ago 15-13 down on the Peru State campus. So Westmar ended a 6-game losing streak last year in a hard-fought victory. The kickoff is going to go end over end toward the east end zone, taken by Bolden back at the 10, out over the 20, 25-30, to the 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, and he's going to be taken down from behind. Touchdown saving tackle going to be made for Peru State by number 22, Al Pringle. Heck of a start, Brownie.
Well, you can't do any better than that. I guess they could have scored. Well, what a foot race, and we talked about Vernon Bolden 2 weeks ago, how they had to get him in a lineup, and they're doing that, and boy, out of seam, got a little hole up through the middle, and it was a foot race.
Well, Kelly McClintock's going to take over, and they've only got 11 short yards to go for their first score of the afternoon. This team is leading the nation in rushing now, 335.5 yards per ball game, 21 TDs on the ground, 34 points per ball game, and that ranks among the top 7 in the country. This football team has really been rolling up some impressive numbers. They're going to go with 2 split receivers. Here's the quarterback sweep, and that's going to be a loss back to the 15. Slipping in there for Peru State is number 50, Steve Rasmussen, a sophomore out of Sidney, Iowa. Peru State's got a real swarming defense, they tell me, Keith. And, well, I guess if you're rolling up the kind of season they're having, you probably have a pretty good defense that's keeping people off the board.
You bet. They're mobile and quick, and we saw it there. A wishbone, it was kind of a man-on-man coverage, and that linebacker shot through and got the play for a loss.
No changes for Westmar offensively this week. Kelly McClintock's got him lined up on the wishbone set. Second down and about 14. They're going to go to Charles Hill off left side, and Hill's going to run into some resistance. Corey Lind, a 200-pound sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska, another linebacker up to make the hit. And Earl, the offensive line play last week was tops of the year, and maybe one of the best offensive line performances I've seen since I've covered Westmar football since '73. But Randy Smazel says the sad part of that story is they probably are going to have to do even better than that today.
That's right. They're up against a tough defensive line here in Peru. Got some experience in there, and let's hope they learned from last week and did improve.
Third down at about 13. They're just inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. McClintock rolling to the left side. There's the reverse. Skolton to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he just about broke it. One more block and he'd have been off. Cornelius Riley from Deerfield Beach, Florida, saved the touchdown again. Boy, they're impressive here early. That was the one guy that stayed at home on the backside. Otherwise, that was 6.
That's right. That's the word. Someone had to stay at home, and whether it just happened to be lost back there, but he wasn't Johnny on the spot. Normally when defense sees that play happening, why they start yelling reverse, and hopefully somebody behind will pick it up.
Well, Westmar is going to take a timeout here as they contemplate what to do here on 4th down. And, well, they still need about 4 yet for a first down. They could get a first down at about the 1-yard line. Kickoff. Right at about 10.
10 or 15, yeah, 10, I think.
Yeah, it's about 10.
It's down there.
Maybe about 80 yards. Carried it to the 11. And about from the 9 to the 11, it would have been 80 yards. Close.
I thought they had this thing way up this year. I thought he's got a seam.
They were working on that this week.
Could have waited for a few blockers later.
Vernon Bolden. He's going for it, I think. It's kind of like as soon as they're going for broke here.
Yeah, they have a thin back.
Yeah. Was that strange or what?
Like a nice neat reverse, wasn't it?
All he really had to do, though, was just kind of fall over backwards
Yeah.
and get it in.
Yeah.
Instead, he runs correct with a 5. Oh.
You can advance the fumble anyhow. That's right. That's what we did. What was the call there a couple weeks ago?
Down to the air. He's caught one pass, 6 on the ground. Now 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. But I guess we established that several weeks ago. You can't advance a fumble on the offense.
That's right.
That's why that one was allowed. Kickoff by McPartland is short. Going to be taken at the 25. Out over the 30, 35. Look out. 40, 45. Fumble. And Westmar said they got it. Indeed they do. On the bottom is Todd Peterson, one of those Suicide Squad specialty people. And the Eagles got another gigantic break. This team is on fire.
That's right. Things are going good. That was kind of an up man, caught the ball, kind of a big lanky kid, and kind of made a nice little run. The hits weren't quite there, but the final one, somebody got it out of his hand, and it's free ball, and that's Westmar 1st and 10.
That's Shane Alexander returning the kickoff, 6'3", 235 out of Hershey, Nebraska. Defensive end by trade, but I think he could probably do some backup work as a fullback the way he ran that football. Of course, he didn't hold on to it, though. They don't like that. Out of the wishbone set, Eagles got the offense back on. Pitch out to Pierce. Pierce going to be run off the sidelines. He'll get a couple of yards on the play. This is going to be a lot like last week. The Westmar defense was on the field in the first quarter for 3 plays, and then the specialty team on for a punt, and that's all they had to play in the first quarter last week. Talking to Joe Holmberg after the game, he said, gosh, it's like we only played a half a game. We were out of the ballgame a lot of the second half because of the lopsided score. So.
I'm sure Coach Smazel wasn't complaining. I guess if it were 30 degrees out, you'd want your players to get warmed up a little bit, but that's an ideal situation.
2nd down and 9 to go. They got a yard of the last play. Skolton's going to split wide to the right, and you've got Rob White out there wide left. Option play McClintock, 40, 35. Got a first down and out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 11, 12 yards, and McClintock's got him another first down. Kelly, of course, coming off a District 15 NAI Player of the Week honor as he ran for 3 touchdowns, threw for 3 more last week, threw for 94 yards, and ran the ball for 91. That's really a vintage wishbone offense. Threw the ball 5 times, hit on 3 of them, all for touchdowns.
That's right. You're going to bank on the running game. That's what they want, and that's just going to open up the pass, and we know Kelly can throw her too.
As Kelly told me, he says, Coach Maisel has finally, after 2 years, convinced me I'm not a passing quarterback, although he had his best passing game of his career here at Westmar last year against Peru State. 202 yards, straight up the middle of Vernon Bolden. And Bolden going to carry it about the 31, maybe about the 29-yard line. Got about a yard or two on the play. Let's call it second down at about 9 to go. 10:44 left to play in the first quarter with this one. 7-0 Westmar. Charles Hill scooped up a Vernon Bolden fumble and ran it in from a yard away. And Morey out of the point after. Wishbone set, split receivers to both sides. Play action fake. Good pickup by Hill in the backfield. Skolden is there. Touchdown! 30 yards. McClintock to Skolden. And Kelly is 4 for 4 now for touchdown completions and passes.
Well, there's what we talked about, how that run, a little play fake up the middle, and one nice block by Charles Hill made a big contact, and boy, they were thinking run all the way and broke him free for another big 6 points.
I don't know whether that was a blitz or what, but Charles scraped the guy off, and that allowed Kelly the time to slip up inside and throw him, and Skolden got a one-on-one and beat the secondary.
That's right, and Charles scraped him in a hard way. I heard that clear up here. You got to make those blocks in the backfield, and he did it.
14-0. This is not a real good catch-up Peru State football team, but they have not had an offensive play yet, and they're already down 14-0 as Morey bangs this one through. 10:22 to go in the first quarter, and Westmar's gotten off to a great start here. Well, apparently that extra point was no good. They haven't registered on the board yet. Yeah, there he goes. 14-0. I thought they signaled good. They were just late putting it up on the board. 14-0 Westmar. Team's got to be shell-shocked right now. 14-0. They haven't even had a chance to touch the football yet. Skolden's touchdown, incidentally, the third of the year for him. He hadn't had one since that big Midland ball game. And he earned Player of the Week honors. Kickoff is going to be back there to Vic Williams, and he'll come out from the 10-yard line across the 25, about the 29, almost the 30-yard line. Looks like going to mark it right about the 30. This whole field's getting so grass thin out there, you can't hardly see the yard lines with the sun gleaming down on it, but it's taken a lot of beatings there over the last 2 weeks with a lot of teams playing on it. And the Bobcats are finally going to get a chance to run some offense here this afternoon. Going to run out of a veer look. They have a good running game. And the quarterback is Craig Stevens, 180-pound senior. And he's going to go down to the backfield. Mike Rogers kind of rudely treated him. Stevens is a transfer in from Dodge City Community College. Started a couple of games last year when Gary Kowicki, who started here against Westmar 2 years ago and threw a touchdown pass, was benched. And Stevens, they feel, just gives him a little more quickness. Kowicki is more the passer. They may need him if the score keeps mounting on him.
That's right. And, of course, they're going to go with this man. It's got to be frustrating for Peru to run your first play down 14-0, and that's something you wouldn't wish on anybody, but I'm sure they'll say it's early, we can come back, but their definitely backs are against the wall here early.
Got a second down at about 12 to go now. There's a play action. Good fake by Stevens, taking a look down in the field, throws toward the Peru State sidelines. Did he make the catch? Apparently he did make the catch. Number 82, Kevin Cosgrove, a junior out of Florence, Kentucky. Going to haul it in at about the 38-yard line. Going to be a second down, or third down now, and they'll still need about 2 for the first down. Got 10 on the play. He was wanting to go downfield, looked like there, Keith, but the opening just wasn't there. They had him covered further downfield.
That's right. I'm sure that was his outlet man, just a short, quick one, and they did complete it. And the quarterback is mobile. He's going to be a runner, similar to Westmar's quarterback here.
Cosgrove is the team's top pass catcher. He's caught 4 TD passes, 20 catches coming into the game. And the quarterback, Stevens, going to go down again. And it looks like Krotzel, I believe, from the nose guard spot, comes in there to nail him. How about that for quickness out of the 260-pound Schuyler Jr.?
Boy, he must have come untouched, but he was quick and on top of the play. And what a big one. They kind of had a little drive, or obviously hadn't had a first down, but that stopped them cold, and they got a punt.
4th down and 5. They lost 3 on the play. Oswald and Krotzel have traded places this week. Again, Oswald with kind of a pinched nerve in the shoulder, and they feel like moving him to right tackle is going to make him a little less vulnerable to being blocked on the side that's hurting him. So they move Krotzel inside of the nose spot. Here's the punt by Brian Levan. This is their good place kicker, too. He leads the nation in kick scoring. Safford at the 30, 35, and that's it. He's snowed under by White. If you think you're seeing an inter-squad game here, it's because both teams are in the silver and blue today. I know the Peru State broadcasters were talking about that before the game. Westmar looks like we do at home, and when I came to the stadium, I wonder why we're wearing white today. They look like Westmar warming up out there as we got a Bobcat down. On that punt return, Shane Alexander returned that kickoff so well earlier that ended up in a fumble for Westmar's second touchdown. Out, and it looked like maybe a knee injury. They had to carry him off. Going to give off tackle to Charles Hill. And Hill's going to be knocked down right about the line. In fact, he may have lost a yard of the play, it looks like. Second down and 11 to go. This team's going to be tough to run on today, Browning, it looks like.
Well, yeah, they obviously know what Westmar can do and have seen us in a wishbone. And if you got the right personnel, sometimes the wishbone's a little easier to stop because you only have one receiver, so to speak, and they're all the people are right in front of you. If you just cover them and get to them, you can stop them.
Now, Westmar's gone with two wideouts much of the day to this point, hoping to stretch them out a little bit, but it hasn't been that effective. Right now, I'd say Peru State's winning it in the trenches for the most part because we are not getting a whole lot of ground when they're going right up the middle. Pitch out to Hill. Hill fumbles the ball out of bounds. That one was a messed up play from the very beginning. Charles jumped the count and managed to get set again, and then he juggled the pitch out and fumbled it.
Bet it was heads-up play for him to quickly just look like it was motion and got down and was set his second, but I think that step that he went to the left made him behind the pitch. The pitch was a little in front of him and kind of a timing deal, but luckily that wasn't fumbled way behind the line of scrimmage.
7:51 to go in this first quarter. It's 14-0. Football action being brought to you by the leader, the Lamar's Beauty College, Plymouth Plumbing and Heating, Augie's, Susie's Deli, Hopkins Drugs, Stevens Cleaners, Ben Franklin. Next week, a guy named Buddy Holly going to be calling this game for you. That's right, Buddy Holly. We're going to be down at the Girls State Volleyball Tournament at Ankeny, so Huron is going to be giving us the loan of their announcers. McClintock rolling right, throwing down over the middle, incomplete. Really wasn't anybody there. Could have been grounding, but he ran him out of bounds first anyway. I don't know. I think you're just trying to find an open area for that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't see who he was throwing to, and I guess he just thought he was going to not lose any more yardage, but they called him out of bounds, and that's another loss for Westmar.
Fourth down and about 16 to go, looks like, so punt time for Westmar, and Rob White going to be on to do the honors. White this year averaging about 34 yards per punt, and I guess that's a little better than we ever imagined, not having one going into the first game of the season. Rob White going to step forward and said, "I'll try, Coach," and he's done an adequate job with the team. It's not been a weak spot, certainly. It's been adequate. Kicks this one off to the right side of the foot. There you go, after we give him that big build-up. Well, by the time he gets done rolling, it's probably going to be close to his average. Finally rolls dead at about the 45-yard line. And it's almost a 30-yard punt, a little under his average, but it at least put him back on their side of the 50.
Ended up better than...
Nothing. Westmar to the fast start here. A pass from McClintock to Skolton. And a scooped-up fumble by Charles Hill for the touchdowns. There's the option play. Stevens hits head-to-head there with someone on that left side, and down he goes. It's going to be McLeod taking him helmet to helmet. Well, Stevens at least showed a little courage and maybe guttiness to take a lineman on head-to-head, but he came up from it.
That's right, and he's got some mobility. He's a quick-looking kid there, and he's had a hard time even getting started, getting the option going. They've had really a tremendous amount of pressure on him. It's made it tough on him.
Westmar's had such pursuit from that front line. Defensively, it's been hard for them to get anything on track. Second down, and they needed 8, and they're going to get another 2. Up to right at the midfield stripe. Going forward with the carry for the Bobcats is going to be Vic Williams, a 170-pound senior out of Junction City, Kansas. Westmar makes no changes defensively either, except the switch from nose guard to tackle by Oswald, and Krotzel from tackle into nose guard. I guess Shook actually started in the tackle spot last week. He's out of this game with a knee injury. He's really the only casualty from the ball game last week. Third down at about 4 to go. 6:29 to go first quarter. Stevens, play action, bootlegging right, throwing downfield, in and out of the hands of Cosgrove. He showed an arm there.
Sure did. On the run, too, and he threw a dart down the sideline, but that doesn't do any good to have a strong... Dan McGuire's got one for Iowa, and he doesn't play either, so...
This Brian Levan kid, he's a junior out of Granite City, Illinois, averages 38.5 per punt, close to setting a Peru State punting record. He holds virtually all the kicking records. He's kicked 9 field goals this year. In fact, in some respects, though, Coach Maisel feels that hurts their offense. So sometimes they get just a little bit, they lose some of their intensity once they cross the 50, knowing they've got 3 for sure always.
That's right, and I'm sure a lot of times you'd get on the 25 and have a 4th and 2 or 3, and you say, well, I got a kicker and get points, and a lot of times you can make that 4th down, so I could see where it'd make it a little difficult.
Levan sets his team down and set to bang it out of there. Little bit of a breeze into his face, kind of coming in at an angle. Kicks this a high sailor. Safford is going to be there, and whoa, does he get neck collared. Safford bounced right back out of there, though. He's showing he can't hurt me.
That's right. He said, I'm going to go ahead and catch it anyhow. And a little close call there. I don't know how much of a head you're supposed to be able to pull off to tackle him, but he definitely got clotheslined.
That was close to face mask, I'd say. He's probably got fingernail claw marks into his neck. So he got him right around the collar. Well, it's going to be that kind of an aggressive ball game. Peru State's had their ire gotten up here a little bit now as they got down 14-0 before they ever had a chance to showcase their good offense. Westmar's on the offensive again. After the quick start, they haven't done much themselves. Backed up to their own 19-yard line. Poorest field position of the day. There's the give to Bolden up the middle. Vernon Bolden going to pop out over the 20 to about the 22-yard line. More sponsors today. Mount Drug, J.C. Penney, V&H Tire, the First National Bank folks behind the 8-ball. Ballmer's Shoes, TJ Antiques, Sousa Mill Standard, Lamar's Savings Bank, and the Lamar's Truck Haven Cafe. Second down at about 7 to go for the Eagles. 5:41 showing in that scoreboard clock here in quarter one. Beautiful sunny day. Second to the last home stop for Westmar. McClintock rolling right. Stiff arms the man, can't get outside. They ran to the short side of the field, so once you get people in your face, Brian Guthrie at 250 pounds out of Centerville, Illinois was right there. Pretty tough to make anything work. A split receiver, Skolden to the right, and we got Rob White out, split wide left. Hill and Pierce in the backfield, and everybody's going out of the pass pattern. McClintock on the quarterback keeper, out over the 20, out over the 25, but he won't quite get to the first down sticks. He'll come up about 3 yards short. That little quarterback draw, that was kind of nifty. Got everybody spread out and then tried to split them.
That's right, good play call. Just couldn't quite get the yardage they needed out of it, and gosh, really came close. It's 4th and 3 or 4 there, but it's too bad he didn't get it all.
There again, that good pursuit this Peru State team showing us here in this first quarter. They got fooled on the play, but still managed to get enough flow there quickly enough to stop him for the first down. And 4th and 3, they're going to punt. It looks like Mike Morey's in there to do the punting for the ball club, not a Rob White. Morey's back. I think this will be his first punt this year. And he gets the left footer away, and boy, almost took too much time. And Neil Hall going to be down there to touch it down at the Peru State 41-yard line. Bobcats up to the line of scrimmage, first down and 10. Their own 41-yard line. They don't have a first down yet, I don't believe, in this ball game. Back to pass. Tried to go on a slant into Cosgrove. Eagles had that one pretty well covered up. Frenchie Holmberg was there, and Westhoff and Seeloff. And that was fired high and hard and over the mark.
Yep, just like the last one he threw. And Westmar's defense playing a lot like Peru. Put a lot of pressure, had a blitz on there, and rushed the play.
Tell you what, Westmar's defense has been shortchanged maybe somewhat in the last couple of weeks. This offense rolled up such impressive numbers. That's what everybody talks about. The defensive numbers slowly been inching down. They're only giving up 13.5 points a game now. 160.5 yards in the ground, 5 touchdowns in the ground, 154 through the air, and 6 touchdowns. All are impressive figures. Going to go up the middle. Well, kind of wide, I guess, faked up the middle and ended up going wide with Terry Williams, the senior out of Sidney, Iowa, 180-pound tailback. Going to carry for one of their most significant gains of the day to near midfield, just about a football's length into Westmar territory. Brings up a 3rd and 1. This has not been a successful down for them today so far.
No, it hasn't.
They've got Robert Johnson in as another linebacker, kind of playing a 5-3 look now. Everybody up close. There's the option, and Stevens going to go down to the backfield again. Baked into the line. Krotzel was there to kind of stuff it down. There's Freddie Anderson and McLeod and Westhoff. Westhoff's got to be around there close when you see something like that happen. But there again, 3rd and short, and they came up losing yardage.
That's right. They're really down.
No doubt who's winning it in the trenches right now. The 2 defensive lines are doing the job, I'd say. And it's almost blocked. Eagles managed to elude the kicker, too, and didn't hit him. Usually you'll hit the kicker if you're going to be that close to blocking it. Joey Holmberg gets out of the way. Westmar obviously had the rush on, and Trent Quick was one of those people that almost got it. I'm not sure who the other was. I believe maybe number 16, Joe Schaffner. They came over at their own 27-yard line. It's become a defensive battle now. 3:20 left to go in the first quarter. Back to pass, and the option downfield for White. It's going to be incomplete. Closest one to catching it, actually, in the secondary is Tony Perry, a junior out of Gifford, Florida. That was way over the mark. Nice call, but it didn't seem to fool Gifford too much.
Oh, yeah.
3:13 left to go first quarter. Going to give him the misdirection. This is, whoa, what a hit inside, and Charles Hill on the misdirection just got a big-time greeting there from the Peru State Bobcats. They left their calling card, Keith.
That's right. They told him they were here to play, and he kind of made a little jump and landed on his flat feet there, so to speak, and ready to make a move, and they caught him. Cards on the ground.
Third down at 6 to go, and the band trying to get this offense going. No first downs now since those first 2 quick scores. Bolden in motion out of the wishbone to the right. Flags go down to stop the play. Westmar, their first penalty this afternoon. I think maybe Vernon Bolden, who went in motion, maybe turned up to the line of scrimmage a little early, so now it's 3rd and 10. Wiped out that first 5-yard gain. Kelly McClintock in trouble. Eludes the man. Now he's loose. Now he's being rushed again, and he's on foot. Tucks it under, down the sidelines, and drilled out of bounds. But, boy, that could have been a loss all the way back around the 6-yard line. Kelly salvaged it, though.
That's right. Boy, there's the mobility he had. And did get a blocker, came back and helped him. But, boy, he was in the grasp, I guess. And maybe
punting. Came up about 5 yards short of the first down. Ball on the Westmar 33-yard line. Bobcats should again get decent field position out of this one. And Morey bangs the left footer away, and again almost blocked. They're going to get one of those pretty soon. No return again. Takes a bit of a favorable Westmar roll to be touchdown on the 33-yard line. Westmar did a little pushing on that punt return. Way away from the ball. One of those uncalled for things. And boy, it just gave the Bobcats some life there on the field position. They're out to about the 48-yard line, and Williams going to carry it about the midfield stripe and just across into Westmar real estate about the 48. See Udick down there on the very bottom, and Freddie Anderson and Kurt Westhoff was there to make the hit. Picked up about 4. It's 2nd down at about 6 to go. Oddly enough, Keith, I guess the 4 games that Westmar's won have all been their 100-yard penalty games. We keep saying it week after week, this team's going to get caught with this sometime or another. I think the thing you should point out, though, a lot of that yardage comes after they get a lead in the game comfortably in hand. Quick pitch, going to be out there on the right sideline, and flags go down again. This was a pitch to Vic Williams. Got 2 Williams boys in the backfield. No relation, though. Vic Williams is out of Junction City, Kansas. Terry Williams out of Sidney, Iowa. So if you hear Williams a lot, there are 2 of them in the backfield holding on the Bobcats. Puts them back to their own 44-yard line. So that's the 2nd penalty on the Bobcats this afternoon. 15 yards worth on them now for the day. 2nd down at about 12. Back to pass. Rogers breathing down his throat. Pass out here to Terry Williams. Terry to the 40, 45, and buried into a stack of blue at the original line of scrimmage. So good read there by the Westmar defense, and weren't fooled too much by the option or by the screen pass to the right sideline. Maybe picked up a half a yard on that. 3rd down for the 45. They need 12 to go. Back to pass, draw play. Whoa, Westhoff meets him at the pass, and down he goes. Vic Williams hit in the backfield, and he'll lose a yard on the play. Football action being brought to you today by Gertis Pharmacy, Adler's, Williams & Company, Sweet 16 Lanes, Neats & Grubbs, Custom Interiors, Evans Clothing, and Godfather Pizza. 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Westmar. And the Bobcats are back to do the punting. Levan back to do the honors. This will be his last kick with a little bit of a breeze in his face, and he got away at doozy. Not much wind right now. Holmberg juggles at the 12, back to the 15. Won't get to the 20. Down at about the 17, 18-yard line as Joey didn't have a whole lot of help once he caught the football. He did a lot of it on his own. The first quarter, 14-0 Westmar. Eagles will start play in the 2nd period at their own 18-yard line. Comforting thing, Keith, we'll elaborate here in a moment, out of the wishbone set. There goes Charles Hill up the middle, and flags go down. I think somebody was leaning in the backfield a little bit, Keith.
Yeah, that's usually when they come that quick. Why, it's usually against the offense, and that's not what they need here. And got a nice little gain there.
Could see some. Now, the story we were promising you, Randy says he's never lost a ball game he had a first quarter lead in high school or college coaching. So that's comforting, I guess, this afternoon. 14 points begin to look bigger and bigger. There's the misdirection up the middle of Charles Hill. Hill out to the 20, and that's the end of the line right there. He's going to get about 6-7 yards on the play, but nothing more. And, boy, this has turned into quite a defensive struggle, Keith.
Well, that's right. I think we found out how important defense is to a good football team. Boy, you've got to have a tough defense, and right now that's what's going on out here. It's a defensive struggle. These offenses, 2 good offenses, just can't seem to get on track, and defense is kind of winning the battle. 2nd down at about 9 to go, and Westmar's brought in their passing set, taking Vernon Bolden out of the lineup, and they're into the veer look now with the deuce backfield.
Pearson Hill behind quarterback Kelly McClintock. Twin receivers here to the left side, back to pass. Taking a look downfield for Skolten. Skolten can't quite get there, though. Split the secondary. Coverage back deep from Al Pringle and Tony Perry. Announced over the PA there, Charles Hill's gone over the 1,000-yard mark here this afternoon, 1,003. Back to pass. McClintock going down over the middle, throws for Shipley, and boy, is he up in it, but he got him a first down, and Ship held on. Most sure-handed receiver we've got.
You bet, and that's a tough one. He knew he was going to get hit, and I guess the thing a coach tells him, you're going to get hit whether you catch it or not. You just as well come down with the ball.
First and 10 for Westmar out to the 31-yard line. Shipley had a TD pass catch last week that was even bigger than that one, Brownie. I wish you could have seen that catch he made up at Northwestern. It was probably one of the best I've seen since I've been here. Penalty on that play. Westmar, they're up to 30 yards worth of penalties here in the early stages of quarter two. 13:09 to go before halftime. McClintock rolling right, looks downfield, throws for Shipley, incomplete. Led him a little much. McClintock starts today hitting 42% of his passes, 24 of 57. He's only thrown 3 interceptions, 5 touchdowns, and of course added a 6 here today. And I guess the measure of a passer is always, is he throwing more touchdowns than interceptions?
That's right. And
2 for 6 today, however. It's second down at about 14 yards to go. 13:03 to go before halftime. There's the misdirection, gives to Pierce. And no Charles Hill. It is Charles Hill going to carry out over the 30 to about the 31-yard line. And Charles a little angry about something there. I didn't really see what.
I don't know. The big guy that tackled him got up and walked away, so he might have been doing a little something, pulling on an ankle the way he shouldn't be down there. I wouldn't say that goes on, but it is possible.
Nobody would do that, would they? Well, football action being brought to you today by Arnold Motor Supply, Steel Ford, Schuster Grain, Wells Blue Bunny, The Country Kitchen, Reardon Auto, and Byrne Anderson Equipment. Third down, about 11 to go for the Westmar first down passing situation. McClintock rolling right. There's the reverse, a fumble. Yeah, just as well, because number 70 here on the backside, Dan Blackburn, junior out of Glenwood, Iowa, wasn't fooled at all, and he was just sitting there waiting.
He wasn't fooled, but he was just kind of coasting. He was kind of running the idiot circle, chasing the passer, and would have been the right man in the position, and it's too bad. He was the only one they had. They sure would have had the wall over here, but it's going to have to punt.
Fortunately, Skolten did get back on the fumble, and it's fourth down and about 17 to go, 11:52 to go and a half, and Mike Morey's back to punt. Boys, they've almost got the last 2 he's kicked. This would not be the time to have one blocked at this stage. I'm sure they're going to be coming, too. This could help get them back in the ball game. Let's see what happens. Morey just again got it away, but he did get it away. This could be his most important punt, and that's fumbled. Free ball, and running back to fall on it is going to be number 35, Scott Gertis, freshman out of Auburn, Nebraska. Tell me, a good kick return guy, but he almost made a major boo-boo there.
That's right.
Peru State first and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Split backs. Now they send time in a row in motion back toward the line of scrimmage. Back to pass, airing it out downfield for Cosgrove. Got it. 30, 25, and down at about the 23-yard line. Scott Seeloff makes the tackle, one-on-one coverage. And the Northwestern thought last week they could work on Seeloff. Didn't have much success. They've tried to get Scott to work up a little closer to the receivers. He was getting a lot of passes caught underneath him. There he gets stuck long, and that's kind of what he's always been afraid of.
That's right, and that, boy, was a perfect pattern, and man, the pass was right on the money. Caught it in stride, and he did manage to get back and make the tackle, though.
46-yard pass play, and now the Bobcats, with their biggest play of the day, have fueled their offense. First and 10 of the 24-yard line, option to the right, fumble, and it is still loose. Maybe the quarterback got it back in. He is having a heck of a time corralling it, and then Westmar got some blue shirts in there, but I think Stevens got back on it himself. Westmar almost got a big break out of their offense again, or out of their defense.
Sure was. I think it was Kevin Westhoff that made the big hit. Evidently in this option, that's his man, the quarterback, and boy, he is really sticking it to him, and a big loss for him.
Second down at about 16 to go for the first down. Gives the defense a little bit of an advantage here anyway, because at some point in time they're going to have to probably throw to get some of this back. Neither team has really run the ball that effectively today, have they, Keith?
Nope, they've really struggled to get even 5 yards at occasions.
And that's been, of course, the big weapon for both ball clubs this year. Both prefer to go over ground. Play action, bootleg to the left. Stevens sets up, fires one downfield for Cottrell. Dropped it. What a hit by Joe Holmberg. That saved a touchdown, Brownie, your defensive captain.
Sure did, boy, and it was the hit that did it, and they never quit until it's over. And Boy, he had the ball in the hands and just pop and jarred it right loose.
Brings up a third down at about 16. We'll know as this afternoon goes along how big a hit that may turn out to be to save the touchdown. There's the draw to Williams. Bounces out of there once, back in again, bounces out of there again, still on his feet. But that's the end of it. Down he goes. This kid's not real big. He's 170 pounds, but he's only about 5'7", 5'8", Keith. Little bitty guy, and Westmar, in fact, worried about losing him behind the line of scrimmage and behind the line. Just got that good place kicker, and they're opting for 6 right now rather than 3. 3 would almost be automatic for this Brian Levan. Back to pass on 4th and 17. Stevens rolling all the time in the world. Now launches one just off the field. It's incomplete. His receiver fell down. I think if he just wasted that one, nobody was open. Heck of a play in the secondary. To me, they've got a lot of respect for Westmar's defense. They obviously don't think they're going to get down there too often today.
That's right. That must be why they wanted to go ahead and try and get a touchdown on this drive.
Clinic back to pass as Westmar takes over on downs, throws for Vernon Bolden on the sidelines, hits him at the 40, and he'll go to the 42. Should be enough for a first down with 9:14 left to go in the first half. 14-0 Westmar. Scored on their first 2 possessions today. Scored right off they had an 80-yard kickoff return by Bolden, took over at the 11. A few plays later, they scored on a scooped-up fumble by Charles Hill from the 1-yard line, and then recovered a kickoff fumble and quickly turned that into points on a pass from McClintock to Skolton. Morey adding the points after each time. 1st and 10 on this particular pass play. There's the give it to Bolden up the middle and out of 45 about the 47, 48-yard line. Believe it or not, Keith, that's probably our biggest running play of the day.
That's right, and what just a burst of strength up there, really, and popped and took one guy on and kept his body going upfield and pick up some nice yardage. 5 yards, 6.
Bolden, of course, had his first 100-yard day in his first career start last week. 102 yards playing that up back in the wishbone set. 2 4-2 football teams today out of independent status, and they're fighting for right to keep some playoff hopes alive here today. It's a big one, and it's being played in a defensive struggle. Wishbone set again, Bolden right up the middle, and Bolden gonna plow out to near midfield. Boy, those were yards the tough way. Dan Blackburn, 270-pound junior defensive tackle, has been real tough to handle over there on Westmar's left side. He kind of stood everybody up and brought everything to a halt. He's grabbed about 3 people and held on.
That's right. He's big enough to do it, too. So he's a tough one to contend with, and sometimes it's better off just to go right at them guys.
Here's Blackburn, 6'4", 270. That's pro size. 7:53 left to play. First half, 3rd down and 2. Westmar getting a little help from their big Parents' Day crowd here this afternoon. Kelly juggled the center snap, goes to Hill. Carries to right to the 50 and then is driven back, and he won't have a first down. It's going to be 4th and still about 1.5 yards. This Peru State team with a 4-2 record today, we might say actually it's 5-1. They had to forfeit a win to Evangel College that they got on Levan's 57-yard field goal with just a few seconds left in the game. They won that one 15-14, but they ended up forfeiting that one. Their actual loss was to Concordia out of Seward, Nebraska, who's ranked nationally. That was 25-3. They've beaten everybody else. But again, Westmar, I think, plays a little tougher schedule week in and week out than maybe Peru State does. And the Eagles are off to a 14-0 start here. 7:07 to go in the first half. And White is back in there to punt. He's going to fake it. Whoops. He changes his mind and kicks it. Kind of pooches one out of there. And it's effective. Brought everybody up. Holy cow. Everything is going right when you want it to.
Well, I think that was his call. If he couldn't run and get the yards, first down, he didn't think he'd get the corner. He went ahead and kicked it and got it out of there. Heads up play.
A whole lot of yardage on the punt, about 13 yards, Keith, but it was 13 more that the defense will be able to defense over the middle, in and out of Ty Monroe's hands. Oh, that was one-on-one coverage. Holmberg jumped to try to tip it away, missed it, and it was just enough of a, I guess, interruption to the thoughts of Ty Monroe caused him to miss it. And down in 10. 14-0, 6:49 to go before halftime. Back to pass. Stevens going to throw to Cosgrove on the left sideline, right in front of the Peru State bench. He'll make the catch and go down right away. Seeloff makes the hit, but it's enough for a Peru State first down. First down, Cosgrove makes the catch. Twin receivers here to the right. Stevens rolling right. Rolling, now pumps, now fires. Cosgrove makes the catch at about the 43-yard line. This is turning into a passing game, and we expected a run-oriented game, and neither team's been able to.
That's right. I guess each team watched each other's films all week, and That I'm sure was what the case with Peru. They knew who Charles Hill is very well and know how well they can run it, and they really get keyed up and geared up to stop the run, and that's what they think they have to do to stop this offense. So it's both teams are doing that. It's going to be a passing game.
They played well today, though, and they're getting challenged. This isn't even the best throwing quarterback for the team. There's up the middle, and there's a hole. First real good rushing hole today, and this is going to be number 20, a new back in here. Joe Parks pouncing through there, a freshman out of Patterson, New Jersey. Well, that's Charles Hill's hometown, and he ran kind of like Charles Hill there, didn't he?
Sure did. It was straight ahead. Westhoff came on a blitz on the other side, and of course he wasn't back there to help out, and the play went the other way. It's one of those things where you make a little guess, and all of a sudden you take a man out of position, but maybe next time they'll get it.
5:30 mark, 1st and 10 for Peru State of the Westmar 30. Back to pass. Stevens now up in the pocket, breaks a tackle. Now he trips up and goes down, and I think this is going to be Oswald this time that tripped him up. One of the best pass rushers for the Eagles, and Westhoff finished him off. Football action being brought to you today by Newbold Chevrolet, by Cruz and Cruz CPA, Sod's Bar and Grill, Bucky and Foxy's Highlight, Timmy's Cafe, Gene's Plumbing and Heating, Kitchens Incorporated, the Pizza Hut, Hotop Jewelry, Taylor Auto, Joe's Movie House, and Appliance in Video City. Got a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bobcats from just inside the 30. 4:51 to go in the half. It's 14-0 Westmar. 2 touchdowns in the opening minutes put up quickly by the Westmar offense, and it's been a defensive standoff since then. Lobbing one up here for, well, trying to go to Cosgrove. Seeloff just looked up at the last minute and almost intercepted it. Caught him by surprise, Brownie.
Really did.
Work on the passing game as much as the running game. They're running some stop-and-go patterns. They're just a little uncoordinated.
That's right. They're missing some assignments out there.
Back to pass, and there's Udick with a lot of pressure on. Pass is going to go out here to number 44, Terry Graham. Graham makes the catch at about the 25, 23-yard line, and they're going to try the field goal now on 4th and about 3. They went for it on 4th and 17 a little while ago. This will be a 40-yard try for Levan. Should be easy doing for him. He just kind of easily kicks it through there and sails it through the crossbars. That's his 10th field goal of the year, believe it or not. Holds all the score records. He's the top kick scorer in the nation. So 3:46 left to go, 14-3, Westmar. Brian Levan going to kick it off after booting the 40-yard field goal. He's a soccer player, came from Western Illinois University, transferred in after a couple of years of playing soccer for Western Illinois. Giving this team an offensive boost, certainly. Kick's going to go away from Heath Fitzsimmons, hugs the sidelines, finally rolls out of bounds. Skolton's got a few words for number 15, Cornelius Riley, who came down and made sure he brushed him hard with a shoulder pad.
That's right.
Levan's got her teed up from 5 yards further back. They're on the 30 now. 3:46 to go in a half. This is Saylor down the middle of the field. They're going to be knocked down by Pierce at the 21, 30, 35. Gets to the sidelines and down at about the 41-yard line. The Eagles going to start 59 yards away from the end zone. The broadcasters following Peru State here today tell us they have not been behind in a football game yet this year until today. So it's something new for them. Let's see how they react. Quick pitch out. Here's Pierce. Well, that can't be. I guess they lost the game, so they had to be behind sometime.
I think it was either first quarter or first half. So, yeah, they definitely got beat once. That you have to be behind to get beat. So
they correct that now. It says first quarter they haven't been behind. So today's the first in that capacity. 14-3 here, 3:33 to go in a half. Kellen McClinic wants timeout. Too much noise over there from the Peru State side. Those players have been hooping and hollering all along. They're like cheerleaders over there on the sidelines. So McClinic's going to bring him back up to the line of scrimmage. Again, a lot of noise being made on the other side of the field. McClinic is going to set him in the wishbone set. Tight end left. Option play left. Pitch out. Pierce trying to get the corner turn. 45, 50. Pulled down from behind. Number 71, Brian Guthrie, 250-pounder, and he was trailing Pierce and ran him down from behind.
Yeah.
Now Westmar got up a first down, just the 8 they needed, and they're across the 50 into Bobcat territory to the 48. Goes to Hill. Hill trying to get outside. 45, got those shoulders turned up field, and he's to the 43-yard line. Going to pick up about 7 on the play as they carried to, looks like right at the 43. Going to pick up about 6 on the play. It's second down at about 4 to go for Westmar. 2:47 to play in the first half of football. 14-3 Westmar. A 30-yard pass play from McClinic to Skolton following a fumble on the kickoff after Westmar put the first one on the board. Charles Hill alertly scooping up a Vernon Bolden fumble at the 1 and reversing field and carrying that one into the end zone. Morey with 2 extra points. A Levan field goal here just moments ago gave them their only points. There's the give up the middle to Vernon Bolden, and that one's going to go for a loss. Boy, those tackles are quick. You've got Brian Guthrie and Dan Blackburn, 250 and 270 pounds, and those people are quick.
Well, and then that's a situation we talk about the slant. I'm sure that one there, he slanted down into the play, and then maybe the running back didn't cut out as he should have. Sometimes they're hard to read between the blocker and the running back, but I'm sure that's what happened there. He just slanted right into the play.
Third down at about 7 to go after the loss on the play of about 2 yards. Clock winding down to a minute 40. Vernon Bolden in motion left. Back to pass. McClintock airing it out downfield for Shipley. Incomplete. A lot of early contact. No flags go down, though. Fourth down and 8, and Rob White's back in there to do the punting. I guess Randy Schmeisel's seen enough of those close calls with Morey, and he's got White back in there to punt. Oh, what a doozy this is. Fair catch going to be called for and made by Scott Gertis inside the 15 at about the 12-yard line. At 28 showing in the clock. The Bobcats are looking at about 87 yards of real estate between them and the end zone. Going to go just straight up the middle with it on the first down play. Stevens on the quarterback keep, and he'll carry it about the 14. Just got a yard on it. Second down at about 9 to go. And a scrimmage on 2nd and 9. They're down inside the last minute. Stevens with an option to the left. Now he tries to reverse field. Nothing doing. McLeod is there and takes him down for a loss back at about the 7-yard line. Going to be a loss of about 6 on the play, it looks like. Well, down at that end of the field. Back at about the 11, so a loss of about 3 on the play. 32 seconds, still counting. Nobody stopping the clock, so this, if nobody stops it, could be the last play of the first half. Westmar leads it 14-3. Bobcats probably just content to let the clock run now.
That's right. I'm sure they hope it does now, and Westmar evidently doesn't want to take timeouts and try and get the ball back either. They're just going to let it run down here.
Wide receiver split wide to the left side. Third down at about 12. This could very likely be the last play of the half. Stevens on a keeper himself, and that'll do it, probably, as we're down to the last. Nope, they are going to stop it. Westmar's going to stop the clock with 7 seconds left. It won't do it. As the Eagles are going to make them kick it on 4th down. They want to take a shot at blocking it. I bet they'll have everybody coming up into the end zone. And I would guess Westmar's going to try to block it here. Nobody even back to return it, so Joe Holmberg's only about 15, 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Flags go down, and Oswald tried to come in for the block and didn't get there. I would guess that Westmar was offsides. They tried to jump the count there. Offsides on Westmar, and they'll decline that, Keith, so they won't have to kick it over. Peru State doesn't want to take a chance on a block at this point, and the half will be over.
That's right. You can't end a game or a half on a penalty, but you can't end it on a decline penalty, and that's what that was, and we're done for the first half.
So 14-3, a touchdown by Charles Hill, scooping up a Vernon Bolden fumble on the 1, and a 30-yard pass from McClintock to Skolden. All that took place before Peru State even touched the football offensively, and finally Peru State got on the board late here in the half on a 40-yard field goal by Brian Levan, and that's been it for your scoring here in the first half. A defensive standoff. We got a good second half to come, so stay with us. Go at it here in the second half. 14-3 ball game. 17 yards rushing for the Peru State offensive weapons on the running attack. So Westmar's defense has really done a job there. Both teams pretty much having only success through the air. McPartland got a kickoff end over end and gathered in by Vic Williams back at about the 12, back across the 25 and down at about the 30, 32-yard line. And the Bobcats will get the chance to handle the ball, first of all, on offense here this afternoon. Keith, I think generally talking to folks here at halftime, everybody feel a whole bunch better. There's another touchdown up on the board.
That's right. A lot of people are a little uneasy about the way the game's going. I guess the big opening, we would expect maybe more points, but they're impressed with Peru. They look good. They're defensively just really giving Westmar fits, and Westmar only has 67 yards rushing, which is far better than they've done, but that's not what we would expect from this offense.
1st and 10, and Stevens back, looking at a little quick out and in and out of the hands of Cosgrove. Stevens been hurt by his own receivers, either getting the ball knocked out of their hands or like that, dropping him.
And this is Cosgrove, their good receiver, and you wouldn't expect that from him there either.
Stevens starting the day is, well, get his stats here, 95 of 23 throwing the football. Or excuse me, 26 of 56 for 325 yards, 95 for 523 yards running the football. So he does run the ball a lot. There's Vic Williams finding a hold-off tackle. Williams out over the 40 down to about the 44-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. A little quick opener, and that's one of their top running plays of the day.
That's right, and he's an explosive little back, and boy, he can get in the open field. They don't want to give him any more room than that.
Well, chances for the coaches to get on the chalkboards at halftime, and we'll see who has come up with what.
Peru's coming right at him. They want to open with a quick pass, and are not holding up, coming right up the line and snapping the ball. They want to charge right at Westmar.
First and 10. From the 43, quick pitch to Vic Williams, and Frenchie Holmberg got up there to turn it all in. And Kratzel got a hold of a leg, and little Vic Williams at 5'7", 170, got the whole mass of blue shirts piling on top of him. He just disappeared in there.
That's right. He's awful short and little, but he's really a quick little running back, and this is the kind of guys you don't want to let him get started.
Got about a half a yard on the play at second down, and we'll say 9, 14 minutes to go in the third quarter. Just a minute into things here in the second half. Stevens going to step up to the line of scrimmage, look things over again. Craig Stevens transferred in from Dodge City Community College. Back to pass. Rogers right in his face, has to throw it away. Did a little reverse spin there, and he was greeted immediately right face gear to face gear with Mike Rogers.
Did a great job getting rid of the ball, I guess, so you could hand it to him there, but big third down play.
Out of the field before the ball game and ran into an old rival on the high school football field. He's an assistant coach at Peru State, Brent T. Now, folks over Remsen Way would remember Brent. He was a coach over Remsen Union for a while, and he was down at Auburn coaching high school ball before going to Peru State this year. Pass downfield, broken up downfield by Westmar. We got a flag down. Jeff Schwartz was in there as a nickel back, and he slipped in there to break it up, but apparently they're going to rule he got a hand on him.
Boy, and that's about all he had on him, and it's frustrating when there's two officials standing there and one lets it go and the other one doesn't.
Oh, it's going to be against Peru State. Offsetting penalties. Well, that's a break for Westmar, actually, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess. I'll replay it again here.
Pass interference on Westmar, and the penalty I didn't catch on Peru State, but they're going to offset each other. Nice play by Schwartz, even though the referees didn't like the total technique of it.
That's right, and of course there's a fine line there. It's a free ball, and he clearly had a good beat on it in the path and got to it and knocked it down, but there was a little contact there. Yeah,
Jeff Schwartz has not played much in the secondary, basically a special teams man for this ball club. Got called upon in the nickelback situation. Eagles got their 4 deep back in there now. Going to be third down and 9. They'll rerun the play. Split backs. The veer set with receiver split to both sides. Straight drop back. Looking for the screen. Goes on the right side to Williams. Williams going to carry up the right sideline to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, and out of bounds. Finally inside the 30 to about the 25-yard line. Well, about the 28's where they're going to mark him out. Pass is going to go to Terry Graham, not Williams. Graham makes the catch. Boy, they set that screen up nicely.
That's right. They tried that earlier in the first half, and Westmar was all over it. But boy, had a good setup, really fooled Westmar, and great job of running and blocking over there, and picked up a big gain for him.
That's going to be a gain of about 28 yards on the pass play, and now it's got the Bobcats knocking at the door. Little by little, they're getting more and more momentum offensively in this ballgame. Oh, what a hit inside. Graham on the dive, and he goes backwards. See Kratzel down there on the bottom. He was the first one to make some contact. That was a Westhoff type hit by Dan Kratzel.
That's right. They sure got to him quick, and when you see something like that, they're running option. It's got to be just a called play, because you would think the quarterback could pull the ball out and go on with it as he should in an option. But by the looks of that, that was just a call and handoff play, and boy, they smelled it out.
Lost 2 at second down and 12 to go. 13 minutes to play, third quarter. 14-3 Westmar. Scored early in the opening moments of the ballgame, put 2 quick touchdowns on, and they're standing to this point. Peru State challenging. Stevens back, a lot of time, throws, intercepted! Joey Holmberg to the 40, to the 50, back to the 45, 40, and out of bounds. A big one for Joey Holmberg, the senior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Makes his 5th interception of the year. This one's the biggest of the season.
Boy, that was, and Peru had a beautiful drive going, and it looked like they were the kicker, they would have probably got some points, and he's got the flu, otherwise he might have ran that all the way, but boy, what a play.
Yeah, this is his best outing of the year, I'd say, and his wife told me earlier this morning he was down to the flu all night long, so boy, maybe he should get the flu before every ball game. He is playing a heck of a ball game, saved the touchdown in the first half with a hit on the receiver in the end zone to jar a pass out of his grasp. Now it's McClintock, got him set down on the Peru State 40-yard line. 1st and 10 Westmar. Maybe that'll light a fire. Straight ahead to Pierce. Pierce trying to bounce out of there. He'll get a couple of yards to the 38-yard line. Eagles on the warpath. 12:38 left to go in the third quarter, and the Westmar kids maybe can swing momentum. You're right, Bronny. That was a heck of a drive Peru State had going. Their best of the ball game, and interception snuffed it.
And they had a little break with the penalty situation there, and so they did get another crack at 3rd and long, but you bet they had some momentum going, and Westmar wants to pick that up right now and say, hey, you're done, we're going to take it right back to you. So this is an equally important drive for Westmar to establish the second half.
Second down at 8 to go. Split backs. They're not in the wishbone. There's a get to Charles Hill, 35-30. And Charles going to be inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Should be enough for a first down. We'll see if they mark it. Might be enough to measure. I think they're going to have to bring the sticks across probably to measure. Well, they aren't going to measure it. Boy, sure looks like first down from my vantage point. Now they will bring the sticks out. 1st and 10 for Westmar. They did get it by about the point of the football. And now they're inside that 30 at the 29.5-yard line with 11:55 left to play in the third quarter. Rob White going to check in. This is one of Westmar's better drives since early in the ball game already.
That's right, and it couldn't be at a more opportune time under the situation. You like to always capitalize on a turnover and really take it right back to them.
Westmar did convert a fumble early in the ball game, a fumbled kickoff after their first touchdown. McClintock sidesteps one man, sidesteps another, in trouble, gonna just float it out there. Nobody in the vicinity, but no flags down, and they tag McClintock pretty good out of bounds right on the sidelines. And the Bobcats can't believe it. There wasn't anything called in the...
Pierce has got his hand up, and that's what a back should do is you think he grounded it, get in the area so the ref sees you.
Yeah, I think there is going to be a flag now, an intentional grounding, and that's the argument that's brewing down there now. Pierce saying he was close enough. He was the intended receiver. Everybody volunteering now, and there's going to be grounding. He was obviously trying to waste it. I don't really have a big beef with this call.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. He definitely tried to get rid of it. It's too bad a receiver wasn't in the area.
Well, the Eagles end up with the ball back at the 38. You lose a down on that, too, so it's second down. Option play. McClintock going to go wide, and he's in trouble. Breaks the tackle, and down he goes in a cloud of dust. This is a dry field out here now, folks. Edmond up there from the secondary to make the tackle on that one. Not Edmond. 21, I think. Tony Perry was up there to make the hit from the cornerback spot. And it's going to be a loss for Westmar. Third down from outside the 40 now. This one, remember, was inside the 30 at one point. Third down and about 21 yards to go. We're inside the 11-minute mark here in quarter 3. McClintock rolling right. Got a lot of time to throw. If he can find a receiver, downfield for Skolten. Tipped in. Oh, what a catch! Another spectacular catch just when the team needed it most, but we got a holding call, and it's all coming back, way back upfield.
Boy, I tell you, talk about a double whammy there. What a play, what a catch by Skolten. That was a pretty one held to the ball, but I guess he's all going to come back on a holding.
On their side of the 50, they were as close as well. The pass got them down to the 3. They actually started this drive inside the 30 at the 29, believe it or not. Started this series, 4-down series. Back to pass. McClintock got a lot of time, unloads it, and goes toward White. White with the catch at the 5. What a catch again!
I don't believe this. You think they'd learn what Westmar's going to do. I do see another flag, and this would be something.
White gets up limping for the play. That was another brilliant catch. Not as maybe spectacular as Skolten's, but just as dynamic, and probably is going to dish out there. This is going to be defensive holding this time, so this one will stand. First and goal to go Westmar at the 5-yard line. It's going to inflict about as big a wound as Skolten's would have, though.
Oh, that's right. I think this was probably worse after looking third and whatever it was too many yards to count. They get a first down and nearly a score there right down there inside the 5. So, boy, 2 times in a row. That's a great play.
Went home run, and I'll tell you, Kelly couldn't have held that another second longer. He had a man that hit him just as he released it.
I was impressed how he did get rid of that ball and in such a beautiful spiral, and that was a long pass.
Well, for the record, it was 3rd and 31 when he threw it. The pass itself covered about 46 yards. And more than enough for the first down. First and goal on the 5-yard line. And now we've got a timeout for Peru State. They've just simply got to regroup. They're stunned. 9:50 left to go in this third quarter. Here go the TT towels. Something new that the Holmberg boys came up with here for the last 2 home games of the season. Well, it lit a fire into this stadium crowd, I'll tell you. Parents' Day, a nice crowd, and they're seeing some thrilling football. Not many points, but there's a lot of big plays in this one. Twin receivers to the right side. First and goal straight ahead to Charles Hill. Hill going to blast to about the 3-yard line. Boy, Brownie, as tough as yards are coming today, he may not get his 140 yards he needs to become the single-season rushing leader here.
No, it's late enough in the game. He's going to have to break one, but right now I don't think Charles Hill cares. He'd like to get one that had 6 points at the end of it, and then Westmar really needs this touchdown. Yeah, they've had a lot of big plays, but they still got to get the points.
Hill did get a touchdown earlier, but it was scooping up a Vernon Bolden fumble. That's how crazy this game has been. We talked right at the beginning. You could see it was going to be one of those zany afternoons. A fumble scooped up and run in for a touchdown. Now 2 long bombs. One call out by a penalty came right back to the other side and hit it again and made up a 3rd and 31 situation. There's the give to Hill again. Hill bouncing to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all he's going to get. Just inside the 3-yard line, inside the 9-minute mark here in the third quarter. It's 14-3. Westmar still trying to convert a Holmberg interception into points. This has been a 6-play drive to this point, and it started at the 40-yard line, so it's been tough getting these last 40 yards. And, of course, they were actually backed up past the 50 when the long pass took place because of penalties. They had a grounding penalty and then, of course, a holding penalty. 3rd down and goal from the 3-yard line, about the 2.5. Here's Hill trying to go wide. He's in trouble. He'll go down back at the 8-yard line. Just can't get outside of those defensive ends for the Bobcats, and they're good pursuit to the football. And now they're looking at 4th down and goal, and I think we're going to see probably Mike Morey come in here and try a field goal. Morey is 3 for 5 in field goal kicking this year, and here comes the field goal unit on. Joey Holmberg will hold, and Morey trying to get the 3, and they want to get back up by 2 touchdowns. I think this is a good move at this point.
Oh, yeah, and especially it's 4th and 6, 7 yards. That's tough. You'd have to go to the air, and that can be risky sometimes, so you bet they want to get this back up by 14.
No question, this is the toughest team Westmar's found to run on this year. This Bobcat team just has given up yardage grudgingly on the ground. McClintock had his best day through the air last year of his career. Bad snap. Joey Holmberg misplaced it. Now he's going to throw it toward the end zone for Hall, and it's incomplete. That wasn't set up for a 2-point for a touchdown try, I don't think. The place on the tee just fell off of it. Holmberg stuck it down. It just kind of fell off of there, and so they never got a chance to kick for it. Boy, hopefully that missed 3 points doesn't get costly later.
That's right. That's a big one. They had all that offense, and like I said, they need the points, and came up dry here. It's going to be some pressure back on the defense, at least hold field position.
32 to go in the third quarter, 14-3. No scoring this quarter yet, but plenty of action. Got a new quarterback entering. It's Kolwicki. Downfield for Ty Monroe. Tipped away by Joey Holmberg. Incomplete. And let's see who the new quarterback is. It is Gary Kolwicki. We got a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. No, it's not Kolwicki. Well, number 12 is not on a roster, and I hear the Peru State guys call him Kolwicki, so apparently he's got a number change from what's in the program here. Let's see what the penalty is. Talking to Westhoff, so apparently he's going to be against the Bobcats, probably holding.
Yeah, I would guess holding. The flag went up on the line of scrimmage, so that'd be a good guess.
Apparently Westmar's going to decline the penalty. They're going to take the down since he threw the incompletion. 2nd down, 10. Wouldn't have got that much yardage off a penalty at this point. Throws over the middle. Going to be complete to the backup tight end, Bruce Canuck. 6'5", 225 out of Plainview, Nebraska. Big string bean kid, and he's got him a 1st down out to the 21-yard line. He kind of ran a delay off the line of scrimmage, it looked like, Brownie, and he was open.
That's right. Linebackers were coming, too, so that left the middle open, and the quarterback picked it up and just hit the open man.
Picked up 13 on the play. Down to the 7:09 mark in quarter 3, 14-3. Hope you're enjoying this one on cable channel 20. Again, Kolwicki, the quarterback. Back to look, throws down and out, going to hit Cosgrove, and Cosgrove going to be taken right out on the sidelines of the Westmar sideline. Kind of ate up that yardstick, bent it up and everything. That's going to be, well, tells you right there it was close to a 10-yard gain because they're right near the 1st down stick. And we'll see where they spot it. They're going to put it right on the 30-yard line, so it's going to be short yet by about a yard. and it's going to be about second down at a yard to go. Football action being brought to you by the leader, the Lamar's Beauty College, Plymouth Plumbing and Heating, Augie's, Susie's Deli, Hopkins Drug, Stevens Cleaners, Ben Franklin, Mount Drug, J.C. Penney, V&H Tire, Behind the Eight Ball, and First National Bank. Second down at about a yard to go. 6:54 left to play in the third quarter. It's been a fast quarter. This is only second series for the Bobcats. Westmar's had one. There's a sack. McLeod coming in from the weak side linebacker, untouched. He just came on with his ears laid back.
That's right, and this big quarterback is in to do one thing and throw, and he's obviously not quite as mobile there, but he's so far done the job and passed the ball. That looks like what Peru's going to go to. They're just backing up and going to pass here, but now they're really backed up, third and 10 now.
I know the pros always regard a second and short as a good passing down, but you don't want to get sacked on it because now you're looking at third and about 9.
That's right. He came on him so fast he didn't know what to do and just buried himself.
Back at the 22-yard line, and it's going to be a third down. They've got to get out to about the 31 for the first down yardage. 6:14 to go, third quarter. Kowicki got the back split. Back to pass, straight drop back. A lot of time, slips, almost falls down. Rifles one to Monroe down the middle. Incomplete. Hancher was in front. And they had Schwartz and Seeloff and the two Holmbergs in the vicinity also. Everybody was back there. Two receivers pretty close together. They ran a lot of defenders into the area. And it brings up a 4th and 9. The quarterback sacked by McLeod was big on that drive. Holmberg and Cujo. Paul Safford back there to receive the punt. It's a short one by Levan, and Holmberg comes up and makes the catch in the crowd and gets popped right away at the 44-yard line. It's a poor kick by this good punter Levan, straight up in the air pretty much, and it measures only about 22 yards, and Westmar's going to get it at the Peru State 45-yard line. Big break here, Brownie. Let's capitalize.
That's right. That's perfect field position, and gutsy catch there, but he caught it and held it and got a few yards, and boy, they're set up here nice.
Football action also being brought to you today by Ballmer's Shoes, TJ Antiques, Sousa Mill Standard, the Lamar's Savings Bank, and the Lamar's Struckhaven Cafe. Westmar going to line up with a tight end, a deuce backfield, and split receivers to both sides. The veer look, back to pass. McClintock pumps, look out, Kelly, fumble on the play. Bobcats have got it, and Kelly's still down. He got taken out on a weak side hit right in the middle of the back. And one of the Bobcats that recovered the fumble kind of slow getting up. Dennis Dworick makes the recovery. He was pounced on pretty good. Oh, Kelly's up. He's walking off. I know from being the old QB myself, those smart.
That's one play, yeah, you really got to feel for a guy all blind side, all stretched out, trying to pass the ball and just get rammed like that. And boy, you got to feel for him.
About Benjamin, too. Kelly told me he was probably as healthy last week as he's been all season after those pulled stomach muscles slowed him in the BV game in the opener. But I think he's going to be hurt now for the rest of the afternoon after that contact.
He's walking around, though. I think he'll be back, I'm sure.
First and 10 for the Bobcats, trying to capitalize now on a break at the Westmar 45-yard line. So the breaks are turning it back and forth here. The momentum in the balance, swinging both ways. And there's a little early movement. I think UTEC maybe got off the ball a little early. A few words exchanged there from Mark McLeod and big number 77, Brad Smith, 6'5", 265. Tell you, Mark, Lyle, if you're going to pick on somebody, let's find somebody smaller over there.
Mark's quicker than him, though.
Yeah.
Must have been drawn off. I thought Westmar was encroached there, but they're taking this one against Peru.
Going to move the ball back to the 50-yard line. More sports sponsors here today. Gertis Pharmacy, Adler's, Williams & Company, Sweet 16 Lanes, Neats & Grubs, Custom Interiors, Evans Clothing, and Godfather Pizza. At 5:45 left to play in the third quarter, Westmar in front, 14-3. A lot of action this quarter, but no points. Westmar was down to the 5 and couldn't get it in, and messed up the field goal try. It'll slant into Ty Monroe, and he's hit by Frenchie Holmberg and by Robert Johnson. JR put a pop on him. Frenchie's become quite a hitter in that secondary, and of course we all know about JR's hitting ability. And Monroe, I think after he got in there, said, what am I doing in here?
That's right. He caught it and ducked. He knew what was coming, and Westmar will give him a little 4 or 5 yard in like that. Ty
Monroe caught a touchdown pass from Kowicki. Last visit to the stadium 2 years ago. As they rallied to win. Remember that ball game? We had that thing in hand, it seemed like, up about by this margin at halftime. We were coasting along, and then they rallied back with 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, shut us out and won it. Came from behind to win it, 24-20. Pitch out, fumble, and down for the loss back at the 50-yard line. The Eagles responded to the mishap on offense, and the pitch out went to number 28, Elton Edmond, a senior, 180-pounder out of Omaha. His first carry today, maybe his last after he mishandled the pitch.
That's right. You got to catch them. That's like a pass. You got to handle them, and might not have helped much. Westmar was sure on them. They were sending their linebackers again, and boy, what a defensive struggle we got going here.
Westhoff is the first to be there. That was not that bad a pitch out. It just mishandled by Edmond. Down to the last 4.5 minutes. It's been a fast quarter, at least it seems like it, 14-3. Same score we had at halftime. Westmar scored twice in the opening 4 minutes of the game, and it stood. Back to pass, Kowicki, a lot of time throwing for Monroe, incomplete. Boy, that was close because Hancher had an elbow in the back as that pass was in the air, but fortunately it was going over their head about the time the contact happened.
That might have been the ruling, too. It was uncatchable. That little fine print, so-called, is in the pass interference, and it definitely was over their head.
Brings up a 4th down and about 14 to go for the first down. And Levan back to punt. Didn't get a very good one away last time, but they got away with it because the defense recovered a fumble, almost blocked. Trent Quick. Levan goes down, as you can see on the screen there, but no flag. They said he faked it, I guess, and Holmberg going to be hit back at the 5-yard line. But Levan spun right into Quick. There's a little contact with just a brush, and I think that's a good call by the official there, not throwing a flag.
Yeah, it was close, though. His leg was extended, and they came into the leg, but yeah, I guess he ruled that it was, a brush. Obviously, the flag isn't down. Westmar didn't come out too good on the other end either. They got a 95 yards to go here now.
Looks like it's about the 8-yard line, 8 or 9-yard line where this drive is going to start down there. So they're about 91 yards away from the end zone. Going to need to get some field position out of this. Gives to Charles Hill. He'll be out to about the 10 or 11-yard line. It's just important we don't get a long drive here, at least get a first down or two to keep them out of midfield or further from the end zone.
That's right. In games like this, it's where big plays are going to score. It looks like you want to win the field position, where we talk about it time and time again. Right now, Peru has it, and Westmar would like to grind something out, take some time off the clock, and get themselves back in position where if Peru does get it, they don't get it on their own 50-yard line.
Second down at about 9 to go for the Eagles, and they're in a hole. It's their worst field position of the day, I think. 3:27 to go, third quarter. So the 14 quick points early in the ball game have stood to this point, and it's probably going to stand for 3 quarters. But we've got a dandy of a fourth quarter coming up, it looks like. Westmar in another dogfight. Vernon Bolden in motion to the left side. McClintock back to pass. Throws out here to Pearson. He dropped it. Third down from the 12-yard line. 8 to go. Westmar's got their passing set in there now with Skolton and White split wide to either side, and they're in the wishbone. Back to pass. McClintock taking a look, firing downfield for Skolton. Skolton's got it at the 50, 40, down to about the 36-yard line. Oh, Dolly, that was a heck of a fingertip catch.
Oh, that was, Denny, and we talked about the good catches earlier, but that was, I thought, well, he just can't reach it. But I joked about his gloves, but maybe he's got stickum on him. That was pretty, boy, right in front of the crowd here, and everyone loves it.
He was looking over his shoulder as Kelly let that one go, and you could almost see him measure it. Well, I got to go that far. I don't know whether I'm going to get there, and he just did time it perfectly and got to the fingertips with it and held on. 53-yard pass play. They're in the veer set now with Deuce back. Straight ahead to Pierce. Pierce going to pop in there, and somebody got a hold of the leg. Otherwise, he'd have broken into the secondary. Inside the 35, about the 34-yard line. Boy, can you remember a ball game that's had this many big plays with so little scoring?
That's right. It's really been, it's just exciting here, and it's kind of what we do. We kind of go along for a few minutes and wonder what's going to happen big next. And some of these big plays, it's odd that they're not scoring points. They're happening between the goal lines, and unfortunately for, I guess, both teams, but lots of action here.
Skolton hadn't caught a TD pass since the Midland game, but he caught one earlier today, and that's a big touchdown right now. Made 2 spectacular catches today. McClintock down the middle to White. White is going to have it tipped away. Number 21, Tony Perry, down there to deflect it. And there again, White had the inside position. You thought he was going to go up and make the catch. Kelly threw that one just a little behind him.
That's right. He would have led it a little better, and that was a little close to interference, too. There was some contact going on there. And, again, that was kind of like Westmar plays their defensive backs. They aggressively go after that ball and knock it down.
Third down and about 9 to go for the Westmar first down. Minute 59 to go, third quarter. This is going to be the most memorable quarter of the ball game, but no points. McClintock back, throws, fires one to the sidelines, incomplete. He was trying to go to Skolten. Skolten was kind of stumbling as he headed toward the sidelines. Well, Westmar going to bring the punt team on. They're in no man's land, out of field goal range. Going to be a short punt. White's going to try and pin him in the hole here. Hangs it up. Fair catch going to be called for. Hits at the 3 and on into the end zone and out of there. Boy, that just would have deadened in there. We'd have had him where we wanted him.
That's right. The ball was kind of floating like a knuckleball, and that's a lot of times they'll bounce straight up in the air, but hit the point just wrong and just darted right through.
On the 20-yard line, Craig Stevens back in there at quarterback. Back to pass, pumps, now rolls. Rush was there. Now he's trying to elude the defensive lineman, and there's a pass downfield to Graham, and Graham going to make the catch over the 35 at about the 38, and that'll be a first down. See, boy, you just about look for flags every time. They're hard to see out there today. That field is drying out so much. We lost the green color of the grass. No flags, apparently. It's going to stand out to the 40-yard line. 20-yarder. Stevens showed his versatility there.
Oh, yeah, they went back to him, and we talked about how last one, I can't think of his name, wasn't as mobile, and here he probably would have been sacked. But Stevens, the more mobile, quicker quarterback, got out, bought himself some time, and found the receiver open.
I think he's got a little stronger arm than Kowicki, too,
Sure
just
does.
maybe not as accurate. First and 10. Fumble on the center snap. Westmar piling in there. Bodies flying in from every which direction. No indication yet from anybody who's got it. They'll have to, it might change
Still
hands.
fighting for it in there. They go.
Might change hands more than once before they finally get the bodies pulled off of it to see who's still got it.
We talk about what goes on inside piles, and sometimes it can be pretty wild underneath them fumble piles. And normally, if you know your man's got it, you like to get down and put a hand on it and help him hold it.
Freddie Anderson came up with the football, but he isn't going to keep it. He wasn't the one the referees declared had it when they ruled the play dead. So it's going to be second down and 10. There was a break for Peru State because Westmar had it at the Bobcat 40. 43 seconds to go in the quarter. 14-3. Westmar had a chance at the 5, ended up muffing a field goal try. Westmar getting Walton and J.R. Johnson out of there quickly, getting some extra backs in there, expecting pass. They're going to go straight up the middle on the quick opener, and it's close to a first down. Popping straight ahead was the fullback, Graham. No, check it. Going to be that little scat back, I believe. Williams, Vic Williams. And Williams going to carry out to about the 49-yard line, so they respot it, and he is a little short.
It's the little back that's tough to see. It was tough for me to see. I could just see the pile going downfield. And the game has gotten where they're passing every down, and they kind of crossed us up and actually ran it there.
Yeah, they're going to get a playoff. The quarter ends before they get the snap taken care of. Peru State starts the fourth quarter, third down at a yard to go, and Westmar's got their goal line type stance in there, but of course you don't want to get too anxious to play the entire run play. Timeout going to be taken by Stevens. As Westmar making a little noise on their sidelines. You don't want to commit to the run too much or you'll see a home run ball put up over top of you. So third down at a yard to go, and they're going to try it again. A little noise being generated at the sidelines. Quarterback sneak by Stevens, and he gets right to the 50. I saw his head go over the 50. Whether the ball got that far, I think he's got a first down from where it looks like the referees are going to spot it for him. Just did get the first down, and that'll keep the drive alive of the Bobcats. Just into Westmar Real Estate to the 49-yard line. First Supply, Steel Forge, Schuster Grain, Wells Blue Bunny, The Country Kitchen, Reardon Auto, Vern Anderson Equipment, Newble Chevrolet, Cruz and Cruz CPA, Sod's Barn Grill, and Bucky and Foxy's Highlight. First and 10 at the Westmar 49-yard line. Bobcats got to figure out a way to get on the end zone here pretty soon. Stevens rolling left, a lot of time, pumps, now runs, 45, 40, 35, down to the 30-yard line. Gonna ramble for about 19 yards, another Bobcat first down. First and 10 at the 30. Westmar's got to dig in once more with that defense. Boy, they just keep coming up with a big play time after time this afternoon. Can they keep doing it? Up the middle of Vic Williams, and he runs right into J.R. Johnson. And Robert Johnson Jr. going to knock him to the turf. No, check it, not Robert Johnson, Freddie Anderson. Freddie Anderson, 44. Robert Johnson, number 4. Saw the flash of 4 go down there as the contact was made. But Freddie Anderson making the hit. Freddie is right now on a scrap for that linebacker starting spot with Johnson. Freddie with his second start today, a sophomore out of Wyandanch, New York, 215-pounder. Second down at about 9 to go. Got a yard of the play just inside the 30 to the 29. Back to pass. A little quick one out to Cosgrove at the 25. down to the 22-yard line, 23-yard line. Frenchie Holmberg, and it looks like Westhoff was out there to make the hit for the Eagles. Short of a first down yet. It's going to bring up a third down, and they're going to need a couple of yards yet for the first down. (14-3) ball game, 13:03 left to play. Boy, those two touchdowns early stand up today. I guess it's going to be pretty surprising because this Bobcat team has come close to scoring several times. Back to pass, low, throws it out here to the left flat, and it's going to be incomplete. Graham was out there all alone on the sideline, and he just misfired. He couldn't hang on. Bruce Kanak, I should say, out there on the sideline. Kanak, the tight end at 6'5", tried to tightrope the sideline, catch the ball, and wasn't real coordinated about doing it. So now it's 4th and 2. Another field goal here. Stevens going to spot it on the 30. It'll be another 40-yarder for Levan. Watch out for the fake here because they're getting to the point they need 7. Holmberg back in the end zone. Nope, they are going to kick it. It's going to be up, and it is good. Another good one for Levan. His second field goal of the day. 14-6 with 12:44 left to go in the ball game. Levan got her teed up on the right, or on the middle part of the 35-yard line. Oh, you just took a little leave of absence there between quarters, so an old friend, Brownie.
That's right, quite Goodchild, the oldest of the many Goodchilds that played here at Westmar, and he made a couple quick comments. He hadn't seen Westmar for several years, but he was really impressed with the caliber play, how he seemed to think that he's a coach in high school and sees a lot of players, but he says they've definitely play a higher grade caliber football than we did.
Levan going to kick a squibber, bounces in front of Heath Fitzsimmons and out of bounds. Whether Heath touched it or not is going to be the question now. No flags have been dropped yet. The referee's going to have to confer. Heath said, I didn't touch it. I don't think he did either. It skipped in front of him. He tried to knock it down but never made contact with it. And if Westmar doesn't win this argument, they're going to have it at the 6-yard line. Boy, the momentum is slowly but surely swinging here, and 12:41 sounds like a lot of time yet, Brownie.
That's right. It's time in the game when you don't want possibly mental mistakes like that to happen, and you don't want to lose field position. And it looks like it's going to be Westmar's ball on the 6.
Ooh, they didn't win the argument. Little by little, the Bobcats are gaining some momentum. We've had some big plays, but haven't been able to go and finish the drives off. Some spectacular catches from our wideouts, but we haven't been able to make them count for any points yet.
Oh, yeah, and that's kind of the way the offense has been. We've, I guess, just can't seem to establish any kind of a running game against this tough Peru defense, and that's been the weak point. We just can't establish a good, consistent offense.
Well, it was a low-scoring game last year. Westmar winning 15-13 down at Bobcat territory. 14-6 here this afternoon. 14 points went on in the opening moments of this ball game. Quick scoring for the Eagles after the 80-yard kickoff return by Vernon Bolden. Back to pass. McClintock throws for White, complete out there at about the 25-yard line and out of bounds. 1st and 10 Westmar. That's good for about 16 yards. And there was a big 19-yard pass completion. It's a little nice pattern there by White to the sideline.
Yeah, beautiful pattern, beautiful pass. Nice tight spiral out there, and then got a big first down and got him a little breathing room.
You haven't seen Kelly McClintock play now for about 3 weeks. He looks healthier, doesn't he? He's throwing a lot better football.
Sure does. Just looks stronger out there. He's even running the option, which they've had a hard time doing today, but he's real confident. He's taking it right to him, and seems to have no mental problems out there either, or physically, and he's in control.
I think that's the key word. His confidence is back again. He had his confidence shaken early in the season. McClintock on the keeper, and he's going to go down back at the 21, 22-yard line. Tackle going to be made by number 29, Rick Ripberger, junior out of Milo, Iowa. That's over on the Pella area. He's one of those Pella boys. Got away from Central College for some reason. Good-sized kid.
Didn't know that happened over there. They kind of got that area about like Northwestern College has their schools up north here for recruiting. 2nd down, and they need about 12, 13 yards to go for the first down. Well, we're watching that clock because as time goes along now, more and more pressure on the Bobcats. They're back to within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion of tying. Back to pass. McClintock fires one for White. Tipped away. Heck of a defensive play by Perry out here on the sideline. Tony Perry played out perfectly. That's textbook defensive back play. Sure was, and that's the second big play we've seen him come in, and last minute he's quick and can really recover on an out like that, and came over and knocked the ball out of bounds. Third
down and 13, and possibly another passing situation since Westmar's unable to run the option today. Just have not been able to get outside. Back to pass. McClintock pumps, throws, gets hammered pretty well. White's going to slide inside and miss the pass. He and Perry were going after it together. He was triple covered there, but still almost came close to catching it.
That's right, and then I think his another concern was to get in there and make sure it isn't intercepted. He knew it was covered well, and he wanted to make sure and get back and at least get a hand on the ball.
Left to go in this ball game, punting situation, and Rob White back inside the 10, so the Bobcats going to come out of this in pretty good field position around midfield. And they bang away a low end-over-end kick, but pretty good coverage and a heck of a roll. There's the kind of roll we were looking for. What a punt this turns out to be, all the way down to the 24-yard line. From their own 23 to the 24, 53 yards.
And that was a beauty, and on his one concern, Peru had 10 guys lined up right on the line of scrimmage. They were going to come, and they wanted to block it, and he knew it, and he just wanted to get it off and get it out of there, and got the good roll.
About 11 and a half minutes to go to the finish of this one, 14-6. And there's the keeper by Stevens, the quarterback, out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Haven't really mentioned, I guess, Tom Shea coaches this Peru State team. They're a 4-2 football team, rated 14th nationally, down there in Peru, Nebraska. That's in a very remote southeast corner. They play in something called the Oak Bowl. They tell me the only highlight of the town really is the campus. When the students are gone, there really isn't much there. But it's a little bitty town stuck in the remote southeast corner of Nebraska. But they've got quite a college down there. And the pass for Ty Monroe in the left flat is incomplete. I know Westmar got in trouble, I think, the last time they were up here 2 years ago. Some write-up in the program talking about kind of the quaintness of the little community down there, kind of gravel roads or something to that effect leading into town. I don't remember how the article went. Some of the Peru State visitors took a little, didn't like the remarks made in the comment too much about their little community. Thought they were derogatory, and boy, there was a big upheaval. A lot of apologies had to be dished out on the part of Westmar College. Third down and 8, back to pass. Stevens airing one out down the sideline for Cosgrove. Dives, did he make the catch? Apparently he did. Down to the 42-yard line. Yet one more big play, but this time it's for the opponents.
Oh, that was, and another one of our big pass play, great catches, and that was a great catch. This Cosgrove kid's a good receiver. Decent coverage was right there, but just wasn't enough.
Cosgrove doesn't have a lot of speed, but good hands.
That's right. He's kind of the Fred Biletnikoff type, and runs the good patterns, gets open, and has the good hands to catch it.
45-yard pass completion there. Good for a Bobcat first down, and they're on the move. 10:38 to go and counting. This team trying to protect a national ranking. This is the deepest into a game they've been behind. Well, I take that back. Against Concordia, beat them 25-3. So they've known what it's been like to be trying to catch up, but this is only the second time this year they've had to come from this kind of a deficit this late in the ball game. No gain in there in the play for little Vic Williams, and it's going to be a second down at about 10 to go.
Both teams are just basically resorting to the air. It seems like, boy, any yard you get on the ground, you really got to work and earn it. And both teams, the defensive lines are really doing a great job in there, and it's gone up to the quarterbacks, and both teams looking for big plays.
Second down at about 9 to go now with 9:58 to go. Boy, once you get inside that 10-minute mark, time becomes your ally. Throw to the sidelines. That's complete to Cosgrove again. Boy, you must have 6-7 catches today already.
That's right. He's kind of been Johnny on the spot, and then he's definitely the one they look to, and he's got the experience, and that's who they go to.
That's good for about 7 more. And it's third down at about 1.5 yards to go yet for the first down. Ball inside the 35. The Eagle defense getting helped out. This is the play that they were having so much trouble with early in the game, though. The third and shorts, and Westmar, they kept trying to run options, and Westmar killed the quarterbacks.
That's right. It'll be interesting to see what they go to. I guess one would assume from, as you mentioned, they'd probably have to try and go to the air and get it here, and I guess it's 4-down territory here, too.
Twin receivers to the right side. They have run option out of this set much of the day. There's a pitch to the weak side. Going to go to Vic Williams. He's got a first down to the 31-yard line. Not much more than that. Running was kind of tough out there, but he found just enough of an opening to get inside. Dan Krotzel and Kurt Westhoff take him down at about the 32-yard line. He got 2, and 1.5 yards is all they needed.
That's right. It's kind of a little quick pitch like Westmar runs so often, and they made it work for a first down.
Well, I've got the utmost respect for this Peru State defense today. You talk about our quick pitches and all of our speed and quickness to the outside, and we just haven't been able to make any of that work today. They have just shut it all down. Back to pass. Stevens fires out here to Cosgrove, makes the catch at the 25, down to about the 22, and it may be another first down. Good for about 10 yards, and the down people, down stick holders, abandoned ship over there. Yeah, he's beyond the first down sticks. Got 11. It's a first down to the 22-yard line, 21-yard line.
Cosgrove has really got Seeloff back on his heels. He caught the big long pass, and Seeloff is backing off. So as a good team will do, they'll say, well, okay, we'll take these 10-yard outs, and that's what they're doing.
9 first downs for the Bobcats this half, only 4 in the first half. Airing it out for the end zone. Cosgrove can't get it. Going one-on-one against Seeloff. Everybody held their breath there because it was a matter whether Cosgrove could run it down to the back of the end zone and hold on to it on the fingertips, and he just couldn't quite get there.
The way this game is going, a lot of times those are the kind of plays that are caught, but Seeloff's staying with it. He was on his man and keeping him covered, and he's kind of the guy they're going after. I don't know whether it's intentionally or what, but they've been throwing at him a lot here.
I know Randy Schmazer made the comment, having this good field goal kicker, and maybe we mentioned this earlier, but they get just a little bit complacent when they get inside the 50. They just seem to lose some of their intensity on offense and don't get a lot of 6-pointers. Instead, getting the 3-pointers, and they're about set to have to maybe revert to 3 again. Utek in pursuit of the quarterback. Now Stevens pumps, is going to turn upfield, and Utek finally gets him, but it's downfield at about the 15-yard line. And we have a flag down. A little altercation in there between some people. Randy Schmazel, I think, is angry, so if there was a flag, it's very likely going to be against Westmar.
Well, it kind of looked like he was pointing 2 ways.
No, it's going to be against Peru State and against Westmar, offsetting. But I don't think that'll call the play back, probably. It was after the play.
Yeah, after the play.
Oh, there's another one. And that's going to be unsportsmanlike on Randy Schmazel, and that is going to hurt.
They were contending there was a clip over there, and then wanted another call made that wasn't made, and well, those are the kind you don't want. It would have been offsetting, and at least wouldn't have had a first down, but that's going to set him in there closer. That's
unlike Randy Schmazel. He's usually, he talks so much about intensity with intent, and he can be intense, but always under control somehow. And now he's getting everybody under control. There he is, all calm again now. He can blow up, but always seem to be under control inside his mind.
That's right, and that's a sign of a good coach. He knows when to tone it off. Got some students down on the sideline didn't like call either, and there you can call a penalty on the sideline, so he's going to go down there and get them cooled down. But tough call and tough break for Westmar down here at this point.
Well, they're going to mark it to about the 10-yard line, it looks like, when all this is all said and done with. So a little brouhaha, but let's hope maybe it rallies the defense to one more higher level. I don't know whether they can tune it up much more than they've done today already. They have played valiantly, but now a big challenge, leading by a touchdown and a 2-pointer. Remember, if they don't get the 2 points, they've always got the field goal kicker that can come in and win it with a 3-pointer somewhere.
That's right, and right now this defense would love to hold them here, of course, and not give them the 6-point touchdown, and they'd like to at least hold them to a field goal try here.
Yeah, at least, that's some thoughts about some drama that may transpire before this one's over. Maybe that won't all come to pass, but it's a possibility. 9:01 to go in this ball game. A lot of football left here yet, Keith.
Well, a touchdown would put them in a situation where do you kick for one or tie, go for the 2-point to tie, so hopefully we won't get to that point.
Let's have a big turnover right here. Graham and Vic Williams set in the backfield behind the quarterback, Stevens. Stevens gives inside of, Williams is going to be hammered. I think Oswald was in there first, or was it Kratzel? Kratzel again, I think, popped in there. Boy, he's playing a nice nose guard. Well, it was Oswald and Kratzel and Utek, the 3 inside interior people, popped him good from 3 different sides, but Kratzel made the big smack on him.
They sure did, and they've done that time and time again, and those backs pretty soon when the play comes in, called up the middle, they're going to say, forget it, let's go somewhere else, throw me the ball. Westmar really closed up that interior, and Peru's got a good offensive line too, so done a great job here in that defensive line.
Second down from just outside the 10-yard line. 8:12 to go in the ball game. Westmar clinging to an 8-point lead, lofting it up for Cosgrove, and Cosgrove went to the sidelines. Pass was to the back of the end zone, so a little mix-up there between the two. And it brings up a third down from the 10.5-yard line. Well, I know my hands are all sweaty up here. My fingers are going to sleep. I'm gripping this mic so hard. I'm hanging in there for the defense. Lobbing it up for Cosgrove, incomplete. They got pass interference down there. Seeloff grabbed a hold of his jersey as he tried to turn out toward the sidelines, and boy, that was just the slightest little grab of a jersey there, but the referee saw it.
Again, I talked about the play we mentioned earlier. There is a fine line if the ball is catchable, and that was thrown out of bounds. No way he could have caught that inbounds, and that's a tough break, but it's going to be called.
But I think the receiver that saw him grab a hold of the jersey was looking at that grab and not where the ball was going.
That's right. It was obvious there was a little contact there, and it's too bad it wouldn't have had to been done. But
that's going to be defensive holding, so that's a 5-yard penalty. Carries with it a first down, so 1st and goal on the 5 now for the Bobcats. There's the give straight ahead to Williams, and little Vic Williams going to pop inside there to about the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 3. Williams, again, out of Junction City, Kansas. They really bring their kids from all over. I know we've had several games featuring the Dones and the Danas from the southeast part of Nebraska. A lot of their kids come from the small communities in Nebraska. Peru State gets them from all over, and you'll see their roster change so much from year to year. They come and they go to that little community down in southeast Peru, Nebraska, in the southeast corner of Nebraska. Split backs out of the veer. Stevens rolling left, rolling, throws, touchdown. Time in a row was wide open. Got a flag down that may wipe it off, though. He was throwing on the Peru State side of the line of scrimmage. Boy, this could be a break if this one's called off.
Only one Westmar man on the play, and that was enough.
Penalty going to go against the Bobcats. Touchdowns nullified. Westmar gets another break here this afternoon. I don't know how many more we've got left.
Well, that was a big one, and I guess you hate to have a touchdown called back. And sometimes an official throws a flag a little easier when he knows that he maybe owes him one. And shouldn't be guessing out loud like that. But I'm sure there was some holding, and it made it a little easier to throw it. But boy, that's a break for Westmar, and gets him backed out of there and takes that touchdown away.
Going to move it out to the 13. However, this opens up the passing game a little bit more. Gives them a little more space to operate with the passing attack.
That's right. It's still, defense is going to have a couple more plays here, and offense will take a few more shots at it, but at least they don't have those 6 points they just had.
Going to get Dan Krotzel out of there. Frenchie Holmberg comes in. They're going to play with a nickel back. 7:12 left to go. It's 14-6 Westmar. Hanging on to those 2 early touchdowns that have had them on top all afternoon. They opened the game with an 80-yard kickoff return by Vernon Bolden, and from the 11-yard line, put it into the end zone. Charles Hill picked up a fumble and ran it in, and then they recovered a kickoff fumble on the ensuing kickoff, and on a 30-yard pass play from McClintock to Skolton, the Eagles had a 14-0 lead before Peru State ever got a hold of the football. The rest of the day, though, it's been either a standoff or Peru State's probably controlled this game, Brownie.
That's right. They definitely have the momentum and stacking up some offensive yards here, and they're kind of taking things in their own hands, and they need to get this score here for themselves.
Yeah, they have not scored a touchdown yet. 2 Levan field goals. They're faced with a 2nd and goal from the 13-yard line after the holding penalty. They're in the huddle now trying to figure out something to get this thing a little bit closer. They, of course, I think if they don't get any closer than this, will opt for 3 points. They would cut the lead to 5 points. But they've got to get a 6-pointer if they're going to entertain thoughts of wiping out this deficit they got down by early this afternoon. Apparently Peru State was complaining about some time they thought was run off the clock. Apparently they won their case. There's should be another 12 seconds on the clock. Hey, try everything at home sometimes to try and get you into the win column. Back to pass. Stevens throwing, incomplete. 2 receivers right there, so put a lot of secondary people. Time in a row. And also Bruce Canuck were out there in the left corner of the end zone, but the pass was non-catchable, out of everybody's range. And now Westmar's confined him to 1 more shot at the end zone, and then I think they're going to try for 3, Brownie.
Well, that's going to be one of those guesses coach is going to have to make a decision there. And great defensive play. Got some pressure. Westmar's got all those defensive backs in there, but can't let the Stevens kid run free, and he tried to roll out, and they kind of hemmed him in eventually there and made him go ahead and throw it.
Well, football action being brought to you today by Timmy's Cafe, Jeans Plumbing and Heating, Kitchens Incorporated, the Pizza Hut, Hotop Jewelry, Taylor Auto, Joe's Movie House and Appliance in Video City. Eagle fans on their feet trying to help their football team. Defense needs to dig in here. That's a big play of this ball game. Rolling left, Stevens being chased by Westhoff. Throws for the corner, incomplete. Trying to go to Canuck, and Hancher had him covered like a blanket, Brownie.
Great coverage and great pressure. Stevens was running for his life from the beginning, and you bet Hancher had him covered. He was just no way could they have gotten that ball. And great defensive play.
And here comes the field goal unit in, but watch out for the fake. If there's ever a time to use a fake, this might be it. They need 7 points because 7:06 to go. They're not going to get too many more cracks at it.
That's right, and I think the holder is the quarterback Stevens, so he's capable of running and throwing with the ball.
Levan is going to spot the tee down on the 19-yard line, be a 39-yard try, or 29-yard try. He's kicked 2 40-yarders so far today. Well, they are going to kick it. And Levan is going to park this one through the uprights. He's 3 for 3 today, gives him 12 field goals for the year. He is the top kick scorer in NAI Division II football, averaging about 7 points a ball game so far this season. So that'll make it 14-9, and they inch ever so closer, but that didn't really do them a lot of good. They still need the touchdown somewhere along the way. Time probably won't allow them 2 more field goals, so 7:06 to go here. Westmar needs to run off about 5 minutes on a drive, and we'll be back with a kickoff. Levan going to kick it toward the west end zone, and he booms a dandy. Going to take Skolton to the 1 yard, how about the goal line, to the 10, to the 15, 20, out over the 25, dives for about the 30. Good kickoff from the goal line. You kind of wondered whether it was smart bringing it out, but we haven't got much field position, too much of this ball games, but Skolton, I guess, knew what he's doing, got it out to the 30. Good return. 1st and 10 from the 30, and Westmar's got to make something happen with this offense. Out of the wishbone. Boy, now it'd be a time to put together a ground-crunching attack. Charles Hill going to go out to about the 34-yard line. Hill's been held under 100 yards only one time this year. And, of course, had 252 last week. But, boy, yards have come tough for him this day.
They sure have for everybody. And right now he'd like to have a lot more of those 4-yard carries if Westmar can, as you said, get a few first downs. And game's in their hands. They're ahead. The offense hangs onto the ball and keeps. Peru can't score without the ball, so they want to make sure not fumble, no turnovers here, and just get a nice drive going.
Picked up about 3 on the play at 2nd down and 7. Hill did go over the 1,000-yard mark in the first half in this ball game and needed 140 yards to become Westmar's single-season rushing leader. There's a pitch to Hill. Hill gets outside about the 40, and then the door closes as he's run off the Peru State sideline. Little short of a first down yet, but it's going to be 3rd down and short yardage. Boy, we just string together about 2-3 first downs. It would help.
That's right. They got it going good. They ran a ball and got some positive yards. It's been tough against this Peru defense, but they're setting pretty good right now. They can get this first down. That's another minute and a half, 2 minutes off the clock.
Boy, after we handled Northwestern's defensive interior so well with the offensive line, we have really had trouble controlling the line of scrimmage with the offensive O this week.
Sure have, and that's 2 reasons for that. And then one, it's just physically that Peru is just a great defensive ball team. They're coached well, so it's every yard you got to earn out here.
Split receiver to the left side of the wishbone set. McClintock on the quarterback sneak, and I don't think he made it. He was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Just didn't look like it to me either, and we're not out there, but he had to get over the line and over the 40-yard line, and they definitely didn't even give him any kind of a break on the spot.
So it's 4th down at a yard. It's no place to gamble, I don't think, leading 14-9.
I don't know. Looks like he's going to do it.
Holy smokes. Inside the 6-minute mark. This builds character, I guess. Fans are on their feet. They all want him to go for it, but I don't know the wisdom of this decision, but we'll find out how she turns out.
That's right. I'd want to play field position right here, but they get the first down. The coach will be the smartest guy out here.
Going to the wishbone set, double tight end set. Going to go to Charles Hill. Hill pushing and driving. He got it. Whoa, he just found a little bit of a slit in that opening inside to dive in there and knife for the first down. He probably got it by about a football's length.
Boy, that was a big one in that hole. I think it was a little narrower than Charles Hill, but he got through there, and he's the right man for that. He knew where he had to go, and boy, it was just inches, but great play. That's 10 on 10 up there. Everybody was stacked inside. That was a big one.
And of course, not only builds your confidence with this offensive team, but it's going to run off another 2 minutes possibly on this clock. Down to the 5:08 mark and counting, 14-9. Westmar just needing to run clock now. They may have enough points. There's Kelvin Pierce picking his way in across the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Boy, they're in anybody that's just bringing these backs down one-on-one, it's usually 3 people right there to take them down.
That's right, and usually there's a cluster of blockers too. It's really, I guess a lot of coaches say, well, it is. Football's a power game, and we're seeing it right here. It's mass against mass, and each team's just trying to outdrive the other one. And right now, Westmar's got a little advantage there. This is some of the best rushing they've done here for the whole second half and part of the first half.
Picked up 5 on the play. It's 2nd down and 5. Yeah, they're just going, thinking nothing but power, straight ahead football right now, and get in behind their best blockers and get what they can out of it. There's a big play here. They need to shorten up their 3rd down call. There's Charles Hill slamming in the right side, still on his feet. Finally cut down by the second wave of white shirts. That Hill has got great balance. You don't knock him down just running into him. You got to take him and hold on and twist him down.
That's right. He bounces out so well. Hits the pocket hard. See one defender come out of there trying to grab at the ball, and that's going to go on here too. They want to knock a fumble loose. They got to have their hands on the ball, so these backs are going to have to really be careful not to keep going. Gets tough, get 2 hands on it.
Sure, the scouting reports are beginning to show consistently that Charles Hill has had a little fumble problem this year. He has turned the ball or put it loose on the ground several times over the last 3-4 weeks. But he's hanging on for dear life now. 3rd down and 2 for Westmar from the 48. There's Charles Hill for the 1st down into Bobcat territory. A flag going to go down all over the place, as they might have got a face mask there. I don't know. Charles kind of got pulled back. Maybe they thought they tried to twist the body a little bit. Going to carry it to the Bobcat 45. Gain of 7. Let's see what the call will be. I think it's going against the Bobcats, though.
Sure looks like it. It had to be some type of a personal foul there. And great run. Charles was just going for 1st down, trying to get yards. He could have cut outside there. I think normally he would, but he wanted to hang on to the ball and get a 1st down. He knows the importance of this drive.
And it is the face mask penalty. 3:29 to go. This is the drive of the game as far as Westmar is concerned, because it's eating clock up.
That's right. And they're doing exactly what they knew they had to do. And crowd standing here. This is an exciting time here, and just let them grind it out.
I know Randy Schmazel felt confident he was going to win today. He wanted to come in here and win it, I think, decisively. He's not going to get that done, but I think as tough as this one's turned out to be, he's going to be awful glad he got away with the victory here if he can hold on.
That's right, and I think he'd like to see it finish this way with the offense in control.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they never touch the football again. 3:09 to go. 14-9. The defense has just played valiantly today. Straight ahead he goes to Vernon Bolden, and Bolden going to fall forward to about the 32-yard line. No, checking about the 37-yard line. 2nd down at about 8 to go. Got a couple of yards. 2:50 and counting in this ball game. Getting down here pretty soon where the Bobcats are going to start using timeouts. You use them on defense because offensively you can control the clock a little bit.
That's right, and they don't want to just let them run the ball out. But again, field position's a little better shape. A fumble now would at least leave them 60, 65 yards away. So Westmar's got part of the job done.
2nd down at 8 to go. Wishbone set, split receiver to the right. Hill going power to the right, bounces out of there, tries to bounce out again, and finally somebody got a hold of a leg and just wouldn't let go, and then the pursuit got him. He'll go down for a loss of 2 back across the 40, about the 42-yard line. But the clock keeps ticking down, and that's what you keep looking at. Every time you look up after a play, another 30, 40 seconds is gone. And
yeah, and that's what Coach Schmazel wants. It'll be an interesting call here. I think we've got an injury timeout, but it's going to be 3rd and long. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Schmazel goes to.
Well, the fans sure have given this team some help with the rooting here in this final drive of what we hope will run out the rest of the clock. McClintock, quarterback keeper, inside the 40, down to about the 35. I don't know whether that's a busted play or whether a design play.
Well, I think it was some kind of a pass, kind of a semi-roll there. Yeah, it was confusing, and Kelly decided I'm going to get some yards and just get it back upfield. He definitely didn't want to throw an interception, but didn't quite get enough. 4th and about 6 or 7.
Got it to the 37. It's 4th down, considerable amount, but you are almost in 4-down territory. Here comes Rob White into the ballgame. He is the punter, but I don't think they're going to kick it. Down to a minute 14 to go in this ballgame, 14-9. McClintock's still in there, and he's bringing that team up to the line of scrimmage, the little general. I don't know whether he'll put it in the air. This is going to be kind of a big call here. What they'll do. Play action, going to the option play, and McClintock going to dive inside the 35 to the 34. Won't be enough for the 1st down, but it keeps that clock a-moving. 54 seconds left to go. Well, you wanted to make sure if you're going to pitch it out. That's kind of the risky part of the wishbone triple option attack.
That's right. I think that's why he went ahead and trying to stick it up in there and get the 1st down. It's just, of course, too bad they didn't, but it's been a good drive here. They've accomplished most of what they did. They under a minute now. It's going to be tough for Peru's offense, but they got a few timeouts to use, so defense is going to have to play heads-up football.
Yeah, they must have changed the field position by some 40 yards with the drive, and they're getting all congratulated as they come to the sidelines. Defense got to do the rest of the job. Over the middle, it's going to be incomplete. Stevens threw a hanger down there, and this one took a short hop up to Ty Monroe. Incomplete, back to the line of scrimmage it goes. It's 2nd down and 10, and now the clock will inch very slowly toward the 0-0-0.
That's right. It's going to be stopped quite a few times here, but I guess even if they have enough timeouts and whatnot, they still got to get a first down, and they only got 4 plays, I guess, so to speak, to get the first down. So they're too far away to get an alley-oop in the end zone, so they're going to have to earn this touchdown.
Well, the fans didn't get to see a lot of scoring today, but they haven't got cheated, I don't think. A lot of exciting plays. Back to pass. Stevens, Oswald in pursuit. Going to have to unload it. Finds a safety valve receiver. Canuck over there on the weak side, and he'll be run out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, just short of the 40. Won't be enough for the first down, but they're looking at about 3rd down and 8, it looks like, with 37 seconds to go. That helped because that was a long play for him. They wanted to go downfield, couldn't find anybody open, and ended up having to go back to the safety valve.
You bet, and that was, and Westhoff was over there, read the man and saw what was happening, and if he hadn't been over there, it could have been a bigger gain down the sideline, but they did get their clock stopped, so heads-up play on Peru's side, but they still got to get a first down here now.
14-9 ball game. Westmar with 2 touchdowns in the opening 4 minutes of the ball game here today. It may be enough. Back to pass. Throwing for Cosgrove. He hadn't turned out yet. A little missed time there on the pattern. Peru State's probably thrown as many passes today as they have probably in the last 3 ball games.
That's right. They really, and they're like Westmar. The ground game has been shut off, but that wouldn't kind of pattern you wouldn't expect from Cosgrove. We mentioned that before, how the timing's been off some of their patterns, and he was a little bit open, but the ball went by him and he hadn't even looked at it.
Cosgrove came into the game, or Stevens, I should say, came into the game with only 56 passes today attempted through the first 6 ball games for the Bobcats, and they have 38 thrown today, 38 passes. This has turned them into something they don't want to be, is what it's come down to, and now it's 4th down and 7. 1 more down to hold him. Back to pass, throwing, incomplete. Way over the head of Cosgrove. Stevens is getting a little gun-shy back there as the rush was there again. He fired early, and Westmar simply needs to hold on for dear life now with 29 seconds to go in the ball game. Looks like we have maybe upset him, Brownie.
Yeah, you would sure think so now, and boy, what a way to go. Offense had a big drive, ran some time down. Defense came out and held him, wouldn't even get a first down, so what a victory for him here. Still got to hang on to the ball there. It ain't over till it's over, I guess the saying goes, but sure looks a lot better now.
I wonder if Yogi Berra ever realized how many times that cliche would be used after he spoke it.
It maybe been used before he said it, but I guess it's a true one, too.
Well, they give credit to Yogi, calling it a Yogiism. 29 seconds left to go. McClintock just down on one knee. Their indication there, they must not have too many timeouts left. If McClintock thinks he can run the timeout, of course, what do you got, 25, 30 seconds or something to get a playoff. So once they run out of timeouts, they won't have to run anymore.
Yeah, it might take a few timeouts to do it, but that's what's going to happen here.
Well, they use one here with 24 seconds left to go. 14-9 Westmar. 2nd down at about 12 to go after Kelly McClintock just dropped to a knee. 16 for 39 with an interception is going to be the stats right now on Peru State. Of course, Kowicki came in and threw some of those. Again, McClintock down on one knee, lost another couple. 3rd down and 14, and they're using, well, they don't have any more timeouts. That's going to be it. The clock continues to run. It's over. Westmar has upset the Bobcats with a tremendous defensive effort. No touchdowns today. 3 field goals for Brian Levan. The 2 early touchdowns stand, Brownie. What a ball game.
That's right. And when the fast as they came, I thought they weren't going to be the last 2. But, boy, hats off to the defense, how they held out here all day and never did give up a touchdown.
Yeah, we scored those 2 touchdowns, one with 11:51 to go in the first quarter, the other with 10:22. So in the first 5 minutes, we got 2 quick touchdowns. 80-yard kickoff return really set the tempo today to open the ball game by Bolden.
That's right. That is just we jumped on them and they didn't know what happened and they were down 14-0. And as you said, that was enough. A big victory for Westmar.
And of course, then we got the fumble recovery on the kickoff, and that just fueled what was already a raging fire.
That's right, and it was that's a play, a hard hit, a well hit, and they covered it. And I suppose Peru would say, well, those things hadn't happened, but a lot of big plays. Boy, what an exciting game, even though we didn't have a lot of points, but a lot of big plays that turned the game around to different points for both teams.
Yeah, it was a touchdown pass after the fumble on the kickoff then from McClintock to Skolton. That ended up being the eventual winning points in the ball game. Morey adding 2 points after to extend his streak to 20 for 20 over the last 20 kicks in 4 ball games now. But boy, you start talking about defensive big plays, and there was a lot of big catches from the receivers too that unfortunately weren't turned into anything positive on the scoreboard. But the defensive plays, I guess Joey Holmberg's the one to start with. He tipped one away, knocked the ball loose from the receiver in the end zone in the first half, and then the big interception when they were driving just after the second half kickoff. That's probably one big play in this ball game.
Yeah, that's right. And as you said, Peru had the ball in the end zone a few times in their hands, and one did get called back on a penalty down there, but that's the way it goes. You got to play the play perfect, and that's got to be a real satisfying victory for Westmar.
Well, let's talk to the coach about this one. We'll do that after we tell you the ball game's been brought to you by the leader, the Lamar's Beauty College, Plymouth Plumbing and Heating, Augie's, Susie's Deli, Hopkins Drug, Stevens Cleaners, Ben Franklin, Mount Drug, J.C. Penney, B&H Tire, Behind the 8 Ball, First National Bank, Vollmer Shoes, TJ Antiques, Sousa Mill Standard, Lamar's Savings Bank, Lamar's Truck Haven Cafe, Gertis Pharmacy, Adler's, Williams & Company, Sweet 16 Lanes, Neats & Grubbs, Custom Interior, Evans Clothing, Godfather Pizza, Arnold Motor Supply, Steel Ford, Schuster Grain, Wells Blue Bunny, Country Kitchen, Reardon Auto, Vern Anderson Equipment, Newble Chevrolet, Cruz & Cruz CPA, Sod's Bar & Grill, Bucky and Foxy's Highlight, Timmy's Cafe, Jean's Plumbing and Heating, Kitchens Incorporated, the Pizza Hut, Hotop Jewelry, Taylor Auto, Joe's Movie House and Appliance in Video City. Again, the final score, 14-9. We got a visit with Coach Schmazel coming up. The Eagles will be home in 2 weeks hosting Dakota State. Next week, go to Huron. We're going to turn the mic over to Bud Holly next week as he's going to bring it play-by-play. Well, we're covering the Girls State Volleyball Tournament, and so we won't be with you next week, but you can still see the videos on Sunday night on Cable Channel 20. On the schedule, and of course finish up the season on a Thursday night at the Dakota Dome against Dakota Wesleyan. Don't forget the Eagle Leaguer backers meet on Mondays at noon. You're certainly welcome to come down and visit with the coaches, watch game films, and again, we'll see you again next.